Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing tonight? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is, of course, Hollywood After Dark on $3 Theater. I'm pretty positive at this point. That's that's what I call it. It's been a bit of a long day, a lot going on, a lot of crazy stuff happening. We've got the crazy announcements coming in this morning from the Hollywood Reporter about the new Superman, the new theatrical Superman, the new DCEU Superman. That they're talking about wanting to make a 20th century period piece with a black Superman, which could be interesting if they're trying to marry the concept together with, let's say, the civil rights movement. That is something that was pointed out to me earlier by my friend RJ, and he makes an interesting point there. Although, if Superman, i.e., an immortal god, like going up against the civil rights movement is going to be something that's I don't know. I think he's going to win. Although all things considered, what would the villain be? Right? Who's going to be the white supremacist leader? Would that be Brainiac? I kind of feel like that would be Brainiac. Brainiac to me seems like the kind of guy who would think that that IQs and race are have a common denominator. Those kind of people, right? The kind of guy who would argue the white replacement theory that we saw heavily pushed on Tucker Carlson just 2 weeks ago, somewhere in there. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, Music Man is here. How's it going? Says, hey Matt, it's been a hell of a day. Let's talk some good movie news. Yeah, there is some stuff that's going on. The stuff today was crazy. I did my live stream on it earlier today, mostly because I just wanted to talk about it and read the article with you guys. And all things considered, it's my opinion on things haven't changed, right? They haven't changed. I just saw a friend of mine on Twitter try to spin the narrative that there was a typo. No, because here's the thing, right? So in the THR article, they mentioned that they want to make this character Kal-El, right? Kal-El. That would be Clark Kent. The Calvin Ellis is also Kal-El, but no hyphen. So Kalel, same name, no hyphen. They used the hyphen. That was done on purpose. That wasn't done on accident. So this is going to be a black, African-American male, Clark Kent, 20th century period piece, probably set during the civil rights movement. And that's a lot to unpack. And that should be very interesting to see if that's what they do with it. It'd be very interesting to see. Batman Superman says that intro music is like nails on a chalkboard. I don't know. Why don't you fire up one of your racist alt accounts? Until then, eat my ass. Yeah, let's see. All right. Jess here says a white Lex Luthor. Oh, yeah, that'd be right. Lex Luthor would be that's right. Lex Luthor could be oh God. I don't even know. That is opening up an entire can of worms on that one. That's going to be a wild time, guys. That is going to be a wild time. Dark Beast here going to the title of the stream. Says, hey Matt, the reason why Loki is coming out on Wednesday rather than Friday was because Loki would never follow after Thor's Day. I don't have a rim shot sound effect on here. I need a rim shot drop. But Dark Beast, you got a point. That's a more accurate, I don't know if I want to use the term historically accurate, but that is definitely an idea. You know what I mean? It's definitely an idea. So I just kind of wanted to give it a couple minutes for people to come on in. This is, I guess I had the date wrong, so people may just now be getting the notification. I wasn't going to stream. I was in bed playing a video game, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I'll go for an hour. We'll see what's going on. Chat with you guys. And we'll have a lot of fun. How am I a Grace Randolph wannabe? I don't do trailer reactions very often. I talk about movies. I don't charge people to call in and talk to me. I have it open. You've called in multiple times and talked to me for free. If I was Grace Randolph, guess what? I would make you fucking pay. If I was Grace Randolph, I would charge you a premium to have the honor to talk to me. But I don't do that. So how can I be a Grace Randolph wannabe when all things considered in how we approach the platform, I am almost like the antithesis to Grace Randolph. You ever stopped for a second and thought about that? But I'll tell you what. If you think I'm like Grace Randolph, patreon.com/Matt Jarbo, drop a 10 spot on for the month. I'll just send you privately a link. You can come on in and talk to me. How about that? In the meantime, literally fuck off. So, but I agree with Matt 1306 here. I am tired of Lex 2. I would like to see a different villain, but I feel like here's the thing. It's kind of like why we keep going back to Batman and the Joker. I really do feel like Warner's and DC films, they are afraid. They are afraid of trying new things. I really do feel like that is what's going on. And the thing with that is they need a break. Like they need to put this shit down. Like what is it? To paraphrase Donald Trump, I'm calling for an immediate shutdown of DC films until we can figure out just what the hell is going on. How about that? There we go. Yeah, Music Man, if you ever want to talk to Grace Randolph, she makes you if you ever want to chat in her live stream chat, you have to be a member. If you ever want to get on a call with her, because she'll do that sometimes, you have to be a member. You have to literally give her money. You have to simp for Grace Randolph in order to even get remotely close enough to lick her boots. That's what it is. You know, hey, don't hate the player, hate the game sort of thing. That's how she wants it. She's got a lot of subs. I get it. You know, I would kind of not, I don't think I would do the same thing if I had almost 1 million people. I would definitely do something probably where like I would go, it's open, but you got to get in first come, first serve. And it's, you know, whatever, man. I would find a way to do it, but I don't ever want to feel like you guys are backed into a corner in order to like talk to me or like get access to anything. If people want to support, I'm appreciative of that, but I never want to make it something that like is behind a paywall. I feel very odd about that. You know, like, I mean, doing private live streams is one thing, but like when it's public and it's almost like goading your audience, like, do you want to talk to me? Do you want to talk to me? Pay me, motherfucker. That's what it boils down to. Hold on. No, she doesn't charge you. You only have to pay 1 monthly fee. Dipshit. Is that not a fucking charge? I'm sorry. Does the audience here have I'm just going to ask the audience. Hey, is that a charge? Press 1 if it is. Press 2 if it isn't. And I love it here. Again, John Campea is the one who charges per question. Yeah, that's not even to talk to him. That's just to ask him questions that he responds to in the chat. They're both grifting on that front. All right. Oh, and then here. Oh, it's only £5 a month. That does not even remotely benefit your argument. You are literally making yourself look stupider and stupider and stupider. And you're derailing this conversation. Like, seriously, what the hell, dude? You are just, at this point, you are simping for Grace Randolph in my chat while trying to attack John Campea and call me a Grace Randolph wannabe. Like, what? What? Oh, it's only £5 a month. Jesus. Like, what would you spend in the UK per month to have a woman just step on your nuts? That's my question. Jesus fucking Christ. My God, man, this is pathetic. Like, literally, it's pathetic. All right, we're gonna drop his ass in timeout for a little bit. He comes in, he trolls. He's literally got another account. I didn't know this was him until recently. He's got another account that says America deserves another 9/11 or something like that. And I'm like, really? Like, this is the kind of troll. But let me just be fair. I'll be real. But he's in like literally almost every live stream I do. He's always like one of the first ones that's there. Always. But he's got troll accounts that are calling for another 9/11 on this country. I take that a little bit personally. You know, I take that a little bit personally. Just a little bit, wee bit, you know, right? We don't want a repeat of that here in this country. No, you know, he's not he might be a Jose Chaos side account. I don't know, man. At least Jose has got, I don't know, at least some respect, I think. Let's see. John Campea charges $50 for a question. No, he charges you like whatever you want to give. But that's the whole point. Like, that's the whole point, is like you can or can't do it. I don't want to do that shit. So anyway, that just derailed everything. But I've been meaning to say that for a while. Sorry, I just don't tolerate that nonsense in this chat. I don't care if you got opinions, but if you're going to, like, you know, do that kind of shit, expect to get blocked. Straight up. Dark Beast here says, I don't always agree with Matt. I would not expect you to. But at least he has a good head on his shoulders. He's not Grace Randolph in any way, shape, or form. He's closer to the quartering without the racism in this. Oh, dude. Oh, that's fucking mean, man. That's fucking mean. Oh, God. Oh, come on. I'm better than the quartering. All right. I'm better than the quartering. That is just mean, sir. You have hurt my fifis for some reason. I don't know why. I have no idea why. You would want to compare me to him, to Jeremy the Quartering. Oh Jesus, what am I pulling up here? Hold on. You're gonna laugh your ass off at this one. I don't. Oh yeah, yes, Grace has blocked me. Yes, Grace has blocked me for offering an opinion, but I did meet her once actually. And speaking of meeting. This is me with the quartering. This is September 2018. I was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin for what's it called? MythCon. I was there for that. I flew in. I was there for just 2 days and I flew back out. You can see my backpack because I literally left this party and got to the airport. But I have met the quartering and wasn't impressed. So there's that. Anyway. I have met the quartering. I've met a lot of people. Jarbo the double agent. Nah. Let's see here. All my homies hate Grace Randolph. I mean, I actually like her breakdowns of like WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier and stuff. I do. I think when she's not doing like her punditry, I like her quite a bit more. So, oh, you like me better? I'm better because I do my own material and streams. Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I like, I could sit there and make a lot more money if I was going to be a lot more hyperbolic and I was going to be like, a lot more sensational or run topics into the ground. And sometimes I do run topics into the ground. I am making a concerted effort to not talk about the Snyder Cut for a while, mostly because there's nothing happening with it. So it's like, why keep, oh God, don't remind me of Kekistan, dude. Don't remind me of Kekistan. Has Jarbo met John Campea? I have met John Campea, actually. I met John Campea July 2019 at Comic-Con. I met him and Robert Meyer Burnett and Christian Harloff. Yeah, I met him. They were doing a panel off-site. I went and checked it out. I met John Campea. He's a nice guy in person. He's nice. So is Robert. So is Christian. Grace has a shrill voice. Yeah, I mean, she does have a shrill voice. That is true. She does. I don't think anyone... And she plays up that shrill voice as well. She really does. She really raises her octaves quite a bit. And then but she does it to emphasize something. And it's like, all right, whatever, man. It's cool. Let's see here. Okay. I did want to bring up, I'll bring up this article and shit. I don't know. I was just going to talk about the Loki thing here. All right. So, but everyone's talking crap about Grace Randolph. So I kind of just want to keep it on that. Keji here says, Grace Randolph is a pretty lovely lady. That much is certain at least, but I have this weird, bad vibe about her. And the fact that she blocks people for giving an opinion is adding to that. Yeah, that's true. She does. Shrek is asking what was it like meeting her? I met her at VidCon 2018 and she had a handler. She had a woman who was leading her around. She was exceptionally disheveled, like more so than usual. I don't think she combs her hair like ever. I think like when you see her in there, that is her literally like, just like maybe running a fork through it before going on camera, but her hair was disheveled. She looked like she'd been out partying all night, and I'm pretty positive she was maybe intoxicated. And this was at like the late morning that I met her. So she had been in LA for a bit, so she was hungover from the night before. I have no idea. I briefly met her for like probably 10 seconds. And then later on I found out she blocked me. That was that though. So, did I watch Bad Batch? Oh yeah, dude. I did a pre-game live stream and then I did a post-game live stream. It was awesome. Bad Batch was the shit, dude. I really loved it. Tomorrow night I'll be back on doing another pre-game show and probably, I don't know if I'll do a post-game. I'll definitely do a review, but I'll definitely do a pre-game. H-Bard's here, $5 asking the hard question. How's my back? It's feeling much better. I finally got contacted by the insurance company. I now have to figure out how to get the referral to the orthopedic doctor so I can go and get all of that situated. And then I need to figure out if I'm going to file a civil lawsuit against the apartment complex because of the negligent lighting and how the thing is built. I got to figure that out. I got to contact some people. I really don't want to I don't want to go down the litigation path, to be honest with you. I really don't. I don't know if DoorDash is going to pay me for the time I missed, because I missed 2 weeks of work. And so I don't know if they're going to pay me for that or not. It's possible, because I juggle and I do Uber Eats and I do Instacart and I also do DoorDash, if they're going to sit there and screw me out of that. And they might. And that's going to suck. That's going to really, really, really suck. So, there's that. Anyway. All right. Okay, let's keep going. Well, here, let's quickly talk about this Loki thing here, because I got a hot take on this one as well. Okay. So why is Loki releasing on Wednesdays and not Fridays? Now, this is I just Googled it real quick. And this is, you got to love Screen Rant, by the way. And I chose Screen Rant particularly for a reason, because I wanted to see what their take on it was. Now, they pretty much talk about this. Okay, Loki, just like WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, will drop one episode per week, but the format will be slightly different. The format's the same, right? The format is the same. The release time is different, but the format of the programming is exactly the same. I don't understand. I hate when people mix this kind of crap up. It's really easy. It's like when somebody mispronounces a word and it makes you cringe on the inside. So it says here, Loki will drop new episodes on Wednesdays rather than Fridays starting on June 9th. So we've got just about 4 or 5 weeks, I think, until the new episode. Yeah, we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks until we get to Loki. And then it said here that it did take viewers by surprise. No, I think pretty much everybody kind of figured it out right off the bat. I think everyone else kind of figured that whole thing out. It's not difficult to look at this whole thing and go, why are they moving it? Why is Loki going from Fridays potentially to Wednesdays? Well, I mean, they've got a 16 episode series or season of the Bad Batch. That's going to be Fridays. They don't want to cross the streams. They do not want to have Marvel and Star Wars crisscross with each other. Now, they said here that they another strong reason, this is, again, they said why it's happening, but they posit this like it's a question. Another strong reason is that the change is a release of Black Widow, which comes out on July 9th in both theaters and Disney Plus. Now, they said here they are worried about their beating. They might represent a problem because it would represent an oversaturation of Marvel content. Let me ask you guys a question. Is that considered oversaturation? Could there really be that kind of oversaturation of Marvel content, right? Could there really be? I don't think so. I'm pretty certain that you could sit there and have the entirety of, they could release like 8 new shows at once and people would not still, if they were all good, no one would care. If they were good, people would watch it. Oh, yeah, that was great, man. Yeah, I went through all 8 shows over the course of the weekend. It's not an oversaturation to have one new episode and the thing. Yeah, here's the thing. All right. Now, Mendelsohn says here, I guess in the follow-up, I guess I'll give that a little bit of thing. It says here that the subtle change would also help Loki with Nielsen ratings by giving it a chance of getting more minutes watched in a week. But let's be real here. They don't care about that, right? Like, I mean, do you think, I'm pretty sure. Okay. I don't want to say they don't care. I'm pretty sure that they fucking care. Okay. I'm pretty certain that they care. It does make sense to kind of have that, at some point be a thing. Okay. But the reality of it is, at least this is my opinion, they know for a fact how well these shows are doing. All right. They can look at the numbers. They can look in to see who's watching. They can look at all that kind of stuff. That is not an issue at all. They can see that stuff internally. So the Nielsen ratings aren't going to really matter to a streaming show because they can tell. The Nielsen ratings are just good for what people can see for themselves on the outside, like third party, because there's, let's be real here. These companies are under no real obligation to do anything. And I want to talk about this here too. This dropped today from Variety that showed the top series across major streaming video on demand, mostly with Disney, Netflix, and Amazon. and not, you know, I thought it was kind of interesting that it was not HBO Max, by the way, but Disney, because it doesn't even register. HBO Max has so few subscribers right now, comparatively speaking, that it's not even going to register. But The Falcon and the Winter Soldier was watched 40.4 times more than the average TV series across these networks, right? This Is a Robbery was 35 times more. I mean, but 40.4 times more than the average TV series across the SVOD. I mean, if you look here, it's like sources are TV Vision, figures above based on audience size figures indexed by TV Vision. Measured platforms include but are not limited to Netflix, Prime Video, Hulu, Apple TV Plus, Disney Plus, HBO Max, Peacock, CBS All Access, and the data reflects U.S. viewership across connected TVs and connected devices. And that's just a lot, right? I mean, that's just a lot. And so we can see here that Falcon and the Winter Soldier was absolutely massive in regards to how the studio wanted it to be. And so ultimately, that's why it's doing as well as it's doing. But let me just be clear. The reason why it's doing as well as it is or why they're moving it to Wednesdays is because they don't want to fight with Star Wars. Look, when Mandalorian season 1 happened, episode 7, right? The penultimate episode 7, that premiered Wednesday, the week it came out, not Friday, but Wednesday, the week it came out. Why did it do that? Because The Rise of Skywalker opened up on Friday, and they didn't want to they wanted people to watch Rise of Skywalker and not miss out on the midnight show because those early numbers count. And they just, that's why they did it. It makes sense to release it 2 days early, which they did. And guess what? There were elements that tied into The Rise of Skywalker on that episode. So there was crossover, a little bit of crossover there. Like the Force healing is really what it was. And it was a good episode. So this case is they're going to have July 9th, and it's 6 episodes for Loki, which is going to take it into August. But the Bad Batch is running every Friday also. They don't want to put Star Wars and this stuff together. That's what's going on. And that's just really what it boils down to, right? Everyone's going to try to spin it the best way that they can, but it's not going to matter at all. So, all right, H-Bart's here, $5, says, you hear Ethan Hawke might be playing Dracula in Moon Knight? No, I did not hear that. I did not hear that. I saw there, hold on, what, really? Ethan Hawke, Dracula? Okay, hold on here. Ethan Hawke, Dracula. All right, Moon Knight art pitches that Ethan Hawke's villain is Marvel's Dracula. Really? I mean, that would make some sense. Like, if they're going to try to tie it into Morbius. I mean, look, I wouldn't see them tying it into Morbius because that's a Sony property and they're not going to want to give any ground to the competition. However, at the same time, you might find yourself in a situation where they might, because Sony is adamant about pushing their platform of films. They're adamant about that. So all things considered, it could be very interesting to see where it goes. All right. Dark Beast here says, I had to laugh. Oh, wait, hold on. Clownfish Tale. I'll get back to you, Dark Beast. Wait. Clownfish said it wasn't a hit. Oh my, I really hate, like when they said that about WandaVision, Watchmen, when Doomcock said that about Watchmen, it's like, oh, no one's watching the Watchmen. It's like, dude, that was huge for HBO. Anyway, Clownfish are just, they're clown idiots is all they are. Neon's like, I can't stand those guys at all. It's just nothing but negativity, nothing but, whatever. And they just, all they want to do is cause division and, get responses from people like James Gunn and people like Kevin Smith. All it does is just, boost their ego. All right. Dark Beast here says, I had to laugh my ass off at Doomcock claiming that a Disney insider told him that like 84% of all viewers turned off Falcon and the Winter Soldier when it got to the woke stuff in episode 2. Yeah, no, that's an outright lie. Somebody told, like, I love dealing with Doomcock fans. I say that sarcastically because like they're so dumb because they hide behind he said it's a rumor, but he keeps reporting on bad rumors. And if his insiders, his little minions on the inside, his agents on the inside, as he likes to call them, don't you think for a second that like they would have like credibility because they're his agents and that's the whole thing? And he just keeps making crap up. I honestly wish I did not have a conscience at times because I could be running that grift left and right. I mean, it's like, look, you look at like the people that are out there simping for the Snyderverse to continue. As much as they wanted to continue, you know, here easily Mike Zero could switch gears right now and he could easily start talking about the Snyder Cut, the Snyderverse, and start just completely going down that pathway. And the thing is, a lot of people would believe him because it would give them hope. And that is kind of what Doomcock's audience does. They told me this, that he gives them hope. They don't care that he lies to them. They don't care that he smears feces on their face. He doesn't care about they don't care about any of that. It's how they make him feel. And it becomes this very cult-like environment, and it becomes almost like a religion. And so you have to kind of look at it like it's a religion, and it's almost an organized religion in some respects because they're very organized in the messaging. And you have like Doomcock, aka the Prophet. Okay, so he comes out and he says all this nonsense, and then you've got the other people out there, you know, that are the arbiters of it, and they're the ones who spread the message. You know, they're the missionaries, so to speak, and they go out there and they repeat the lie, they repeat the nonsense, but then it gets around, it spreads. You get people like bounding into comics and Cosmic Book News, and even We Got This Covered, that run Doomcock videos as if they're legitimate scoops. When even We Got It Covered will go, yeah, he's never been right, but they keep running it anyway. And it really does make this whole conversation very difficult to have online. Because I want people to have honest, valid conversations about this kind of stuff. But it's so easy for some person to come out here and just go and lie to you guys about everything, right? About everything. And so it's just ridiculous stuff. All right. Yeah. Anyway, here, Sammy asks, what's your feelings about the Morbius movie? Yeah, I'm down for it, dude. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you why I'm down for it. One, it's got Michael Keaton in the trailer. So hell yeah. Give me some more Victor Toombs. I loved Vulture. I'm pretty sure that Michael Mando is going to pop back up as Scorpion. So they're going to start really establishing the Sinister Six. By all means, please give me the Sinister Six. My nipples will be so hard you can cut glass with them. That's what I want. So I'm down to see what they do with Morbius. Also, I'm kind of super interested in like what Sony's up to. You know, I'm skeptical. Like parts of it come across as pretty sketch, but at the same time, I'm like, yeah, all right, cool beans. You know what I mean? Like, let's see what happens to this mofo. All right, let's see here. Do I think that Disney will buy Viacom? No. Disney is happy where Disney is at. They also got to recoup all the money they lost from the theme parks being down, which is why they're putting in all the effort into that. You know, I showed my girlfriend, by the way, that lightsaber video from Galactic Star Cruiser. You know, I'm like, look, it's a real fucking lightsaber. And she's like, wow, that's pretty cool. Like we should go to that. And I'm all like, you know, it's like going to be like $4,000 or something. Actually, I have talked to other YouTubers about pooling our cash together and going out there as a group. Anyway, here, let's see here. Lord Sluck says, remember when his spy said Lucasfilm Civil War is real? I remember that, yeah. Dark Beast here says Doomcock is an idiot. That is the understatement of the century. Then he says here, his opinion, plus he's a Nazi, given his alter ego on another platform, who is a literal Nazi. That's right. What is it? The Commandant over there on BitChute. And I will say this, though. I got to give him credit in that regard, because like he actually put a lot of effort into the world building. I mean, it's a little bit on the nose in regards to like how fascist it is. And clearly he's a Himmler fan. Like, oh my God, he's a Himmler fan. Because like, fuck, dude, that entire setup is all about Himmler and the occult, right? That's all it is. And that was all Himmler side of shit. But, you know, anyway, he's a moron. Bronx Beats here says, do you like the video Godwinson made on you ages ago? Godwinson's made a bunch of videos on me. I don't know which one you're talking about. All right, here. So, all right. The fact that they said something says a lot. I don't know which one you're talking about there. Which one are you talking about? Music Man, can you clarify that? That'd be great. Thank you. That lightsaber is out cold. Is what? I don't know what that is either. Sammy here says, yeah, I like Jared Leto. I want him to have a comeback. I loved him, Mr. Nobody. Yeah, I mean, I like, I would love for him to be the Joker. I would very much love for that. I don't know when it's going to happen. So, his costume is just Wolfenstein New Order ripoff. Yeah, pretty much. Let's see here. It's $3,000 for that. Yeah, to go to Galactic Star Cruiser. That's going to be a lot of money. All right. And Dark Beast here says, I'm excited to sell for Spider-Man No Way Home, especially with Alfred Doc Ock Molina. Yeah, I'm really interested to see what they do with this. I hope they don't go too far. In Marvel, I trust. I always trust the plan with Marvel. They haven't let me down yet. I'm very curious to see where things go. Anything could really happen at this point. I don't know. We're gonna have to be. Oh, right. Yeah. That's right. We got this covered calling out Doomcock. Yeah. And then they still ran the scoop anyway. You know, they're like, here's just the disclaimer, you guys. So there's that. But not much else going on today. We already kind of talked about the big Hollywood Reporter stuff today. A lot of people were really upset about that. And it definitely caused some infighting. I'll tell you guys that one. But here's another thing too. Apparently they dropped some, I heard about this. I haven't seen it yet. So if you know about it, let me know. But I saw something going around about the Batman getting like a little featurette or something. Like that seems weird, doesn't it? That's a little suspicious, you know, that on Henry Cavill's birthday, they basically say that he's done as Superman and that they're focusing on an African-American man as being Superman during a period piece set in the 20th century. And then they drop a little teaser featurette with some new footage for the Batman. Like, what's going on with Warner's right now? It's wild, man. So I don't know if he made one video about me back in 2018. I literally never saw it. And I know it got flagged down and I never did it. That's the God's honest fucking truth. And I've told him that too. I never flagged that thing. It just went down. There's a whole bunch of history there that I don't want to get into right now. But yeah, it is what it is. Anyway. All right. So Dark Beast here says, I am worried about Ock returning as a villain though, since he redeemed himself at the end. Hopefully they'll just say it's another reality version of Doc who didn't have the redemption. I mean, am I the only one that sounds so stupid? You know what I mean? I hate the Mirrorverse shit. I mean, maybe like one universe, right? Like one, all right, where you can just see the juxtaposition and that's it. But when it's all like, you know, infinite number of universes, it's like in this version, Batman is really a dog who spends the entire day cleaning his asshole. And underneath the multiverse theory, that reality exists. Each and any all reality exists, you know? There is a reality where I am talking to you right now, but I am probably a hypersexual blonde with gigantic knockers doing this on OnlyFans. There is a reality where that exists. Could be kind of hot, just saying. Anyway, I don't know yet. All right, Sammy here says, I heard someone say that Spider-Man 3 and 4 were filming at the same time, apparently, and that Spider-Man 4 might be Spider-Man 4 from the Tobey universe, which explains... No. Come on, dude. There's no way they're going to be doing Spider-Man 3. We would know if they were shooting these movies back to back. Like, we know all this. I don't buy that, dude. I think that is someone that is trying to sell you something like a bit of land on the moon. All right. Min here says, Henry needs, I bet Warner Brothers waited to see how a black Captain America would be received to announce their plans for Black Superman because they are just that reactionary. Yeah, that feels about right. But the thing is though, Sam Wilson becoming the Black Captain America, he earned that role. You know what I mean? Like, he earned that trust and loyalty from the fan base because he's been around for 7 years. He's earned it. You know, this is a whole thing where they're like, hey, everyone's like, no, we want Man of Steel too. And Warner's is all like, no, like they're Rorschach looking down. No, that's all it is, man. Like, they have their own theory on crap. That's what they do. But I would assume that they're probably reactionary. It's pretty sad, actually. Pretty sad. Sammy says here, I want it though. I know, dude. A lot of people would love to see Toby return. I think that would be interesting. Yeah, the mirror shit is dumb, especially when it gets to animal versions. Yeah, dude, 100%, 100%. All right, Tony here says Rule 34 exists for a reason. Yeah, no, people have made Rule 34 of me, dude. That's weird. That is weird. To see like very like somewhat hypersexualized. I'm actually kind of Googling this. Here, I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys one. This is, you can Google it, but I'll just show you guys. It's okay. It's safe for work. Jesus, the things I do for you fuckers, by the way, I like to laugh at myself. This is seriously one that somebody made of me, right? I mean, for one, I'm not that fat. All right. I'm not that fat. My arms aren't even that fat. I mean, it's like they, I appreciate the attempt to make me into an actual boulder, but that is not me. That is not my body type. There's another one. If anyone here is familiar with Review Tech USA, this is an old one of me that was made. Again, I don't know why oh wait, what the hell is that one? Oh, it's a WebP. Okay, I can't do that, right? All I'm saying is that, yeah, you do sucks as that's hot. I'm just saying, man, like people, again, there has been so much shit said about me. A lot of it's not even true. You have to just kind of roll with it. It's the internet, but I get made aware of certain things, basically is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, okay, let's just get rid of the other Batman and Superman account there. Jews did 9/11. Okay, that guy's blocked. All right, here, let me yeah, okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do here is open it up for you guys to chit chat. Please have a topic and we'll get into it here. I like to always open it up for like the last 20-30 minutes of the stream. All right, so Mad1306 says, well, Black Superman is in another world like the Batman, which is why they can do whatever they want, and if it goes good, they can use the Flash to bring them in the main universe. Well, the thing is, yeah, you're right. You are right. But the thing is, though, will fans flock out to go see that, right? Like Black Panther really kind of set the bar for that. You know what I mean? And I rushed out. I saw Black Panther in IMAX on opening night. I loved it. And I thought it was great, the messaging they were trying to send and everything else that was going on with that movie. And this would be something interesting to see as well. But it's like, is it going to be a big thing? Because are people going to look at it as being reactionary or something that is authentically being said? And that, of course, becomes the overall situation, right? That becomes the overall problem. Is it going to be something that people are going to think is authentic, or is it going to be a reaction to the time? And it could literally go either way. Why am I'm not scared of Gahul. My back is still messed up and I haven't done my research on The Rock yet. So there we go on that one. All right. And then Sammy here asked the question, at this point, will Warner stay much longer? Legendary's not in good terms with them. That's where they could get most of their money to finance movies. And none of their franchises are in good shape. Well, to be fair, Godzilla vs. Kong did do very well. It did very well. So they are working on the next movie in the Monsterverse, apparently, that they're looking at Adam Wingard to direct. I would love it if they would do an extended cut of Godzilla vs. Kong that has all the, the human shit put back in. That would be fantastic. I'd like to get more story. I know that's weird, but they haven't done that yet. So we'll have to wait and see. And then, but Dune is a big one. Dune is a big one, and I don't know how well that is going to do. If I'm being honest with you, I don't know how well that's going to do, because Dune is it's a meaty property. It's a dry property. So unless you are a Frank Herbert fan, already it's going to be a hard sell unless they add a lot of action into it, right? I mean, they're not going to show, like I'm saying, this PG-13. We're not going to see Zendaya's boobs. So not seeing Zendaya's boobs is going to be something that people are going to be like, well, I don't want to do that. You know, they can just go watch that movie on Netflix where John David Washington literally eats her ass. Just saying. Rule 34 exists for a reason. All right. So I don't know. Lord Slug here says Warner Brothers should make more movies about black characters like Icon or Black Lightning instead of race swapping. Yeah, I agree. But if it is Calvin, if it is Calvin Ellis, then that's not race swapping. That is another character. But I don't think that's the case. But I agree with you. 187 here asks, how many movies in DC is JJ in charge of? Well, we don't know about that. We know about this Black Superman, and we know about Justice League Dark. That's kind of, but the Green Lantern one is, I think, being done by Jeff Johns. So, like, I don't quite know the extent of how big it is. However, he does have a sizable amount of control. They paid him $500 million to come in and make content exclusively for Warner Brothers and HBO Max. And that is what he's going to do. And if they want him to do to DC what he did to Star Trek and Star Wars, I'll tell you this, it's going to have an amazing opening. It will have an amazing opening and everything else, right? So we'll have to wait and see. All right. Let's see here real quick. I'll get to the calls here after this one. Simon Section says, with all this talk of a Black Superman, why not do an Icon film / TV show? He literally is a Black Superman, but a conservative. I mean, I wouldn't be against seeing something like that. I'm not a conservative, but I think it would be very fascinating in regards to social commentary. I'd be okay with that 100%. I mean, fuck it. Do it. Give us something controversial, Warner Brothers. Don't just put out some press releases. Actually give us something super controversial. That's what we want. That's what we need. All right. Oh, okay, right. Just watched Asylum Ape versus Lizard or whatever it's called. They could barely afford the CG fight, so there's plenty of human shit. Even people talking about an off-screen fight. That's great. Okay. You guys know him. You guys love him. The one, the only, Anthony Chabot. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm a little tired today, but I'm chilling out.
I'm tired too. I'm wearing my Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles shirt.
I can see that. Yeah, you're rocking the TMNT, man, and it's the original 87 design, so that's fantastic.
I love 87. 87 kicked ass, but look what I got.
What do you got there? Oh, you got Three Ninjas High Noon and Make 'em
Yeah, Hulk Hogan, brother.
You got the third Three Ninjas movie.
Fourth and final.
Oh, it's the fourth one. What's the third one? I know because there was Three Ninjas Kick Back. And then there was what was the third one?
But this is the fourth and final one.
Yeah. I mean, like, hold on, I'm gonna look this up here. Three Ninjas, Knuckle Up.
This High Noon at Mega Mountain is the fourth and final installment of the movie.
Okay, Three Ninjas, Knuckle Up is a 1993 American martial arts comedy film, and it's a prequel to Three Ninjas Kick Back. Wait, how is, hold on here. Wait a minute. Cause Three Ninjas Kick Back was a sequel to, oh no, yeah. Hold on. Yeah. Wait, Three Ninjas. I need to look at the film series here. I want to make sure. Cause I remember I was visiting my dad and, and they had a preview. It was a special sneak preview of Three Ninjas. And my dad at the time lived in a small town. And they had a one screen theater, but on a Saturday afternoon, they played Three Ninjas. And I went and I saw it and I fell in love with it. You know, like I wanted to, like, I was 10 years old when that movie came out. And that
Three
movie,
Ninjas, I was 9. Originally, we were supposed to go see it in the summer school, but they changed it and everything for some odd reason. We went to go see Sister Act.
Okay. I mean, sure. All right. So, okay. All right. So Knuckle Up was the sequel. Kickback was the third one. And then High Noon at Mega Mountain. That was the
fourth and final one.
Okay. Yeah. That was definitely an interesting film series. I never saw the third or the fourth one. I saw
What
the
one's
first
a
two.
guilty pleasure?
Well, I mean, these are all kind of guilty pleasures, to be fair.
I
You know,
love Three Ninjas.
you ever think you ever think they could remake it? I mean,
I don't know. I really do not know. But I watched Raya and the Last Dragon and
nobody what?
nobody. The movie Nobody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. I haven't seen Nobody yet, but I've
It's
seen
good.
Raya.
It's awesome. Raya and the Last Dragon made me cry at the end.
It was yeah. It was. I mean, I feel they could have explained. They could have expanded the plot a bit more,
Yeah.
and it would have been a bit better. But
And
yeah, no, I get you. I get you.
I'm getting my shot. I'm getting COVID tested on June 5th.
Wait, what's on June 5th?
COVID testing.
Oh, good man. Have you gotten the vaccine, or you're getting the vaccine? You're not getting tested.
I'm gonna get tested for blood.
Oh,
Because
okay.
my mom and Lewis went out today to get it.
Oh, well, I mean, you know how they test for COVID, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they go in your nose.
Yeah, and they're gonna take a shot.
Yeah. Are they gonna? Are they gonna give you a shot, or are they gonna take blood?
They're gonna take blood.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the doctors in the city are very, very good. Have you watched Return to Nukem High yet?
No, I haven't. I've been chilling.
But the thing that I've been chilling too today was a bad day for me. I was worrying about the people that I love.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, it's
It
good
was
to do
raining.
that.
It was raining in New York.
I'm sorry. What about New York?
It was raining. That's what got me down. The rain.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, I get that, dude. Rain. I live in the forest, like literally live in the woods,
I was
and
on the beach.
so yeah, I get a lot of rain out here too. I understand that, dude. All right. So let me ask you this then. What are you looking forward to this summer, man? What are you gonna go see?
I'm looking forward to losing more of the weight. I'm looking forward what movies. I'm looking forward to Shang-Chi.
All right. That's September 3rd. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
But before that, we're gonna do Fast 9 because me and my mom was talking about that about going to the movies. But I have to get my shot first.
Yeah. That's the thing is like
Me and my worker has to get a shot first before that happens.
it's yeah. I hear you, man. I don't get my second shot until the 23rd, but I am going to see Army of the Dead next week in theaters.
Army of the Dead. That looks awesome. Look at this.
What do you got, buddy? Oh, all right. Comic Hall.
Excalibur from 2005 when I was working at Regal. Sorry, Excalibur.
Cool, man.
We got this bad boy.
You got a. Oh yeah.
I got this.
Is it Archie Comics?
Yep, and I got.
Wait, are you a Betty or Veronica kind of guy?
I'm a Veronica type of fan. I watched the show Riverdale.
Yeah. You strike me as a Veronica fan. You strike me. I'm more of a Betty guy, to be honest with you.
Look at this.
Ah, nice.
Spider-Man from the 80s.
Well, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, I'm gonna let you go. We got some people to get to. Thanks a lot. Stay safe. All right, Anthony.
You too. I got my worker tomorrow, so I have to.
All right. Well, you get some sleep, buddy. Okay.
No problem.
All right. See you later, Anthony. Anthony Chabot, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Anthony. Good guy. I saw your comment, Bronx. You can literally eat the tip of my dick. Anthony's a nice guy. We like having him on. Everyone here loves him. So there's that. All right. We got the next person coming on in. It's Tony. How you doing, man?
Hello there.
Hello there. That's going to be so annoying because, as soon as we start getting any kind of Obi-Wan shit, right? That's all you're going to get out of the fandom.
For sure, I bet.
That's going to be hello there.
Well, thinking that meme exists already, so yeah.
That's very true. So what is on your mind tonight? What topic do you want to discuss?
Now, my question is, I know the Bad Batch just kicked off.
Yes.
Once the season wraps, do you think they'll drop it on home video?
I mean, have they put the Clone Wars season 7 on home video?
I might have. I'm not sure. I think I've seen copies of it on eBay. I don't know, but I'm not sure if it's actually sanctioned by Disney. But same with Mando.
Actually, let's see here. Hold on, I'm trying to see here.
Uh,
Blu-ray.com has it listed as February 21st, 20. No, that's when that premiered. I don't know. I don't know if it's out yet.
If it is, I haven't seen it in storage yet, nor have I seen it with Mando. So,
Well, I mean, it's like it says here, Disney Buena Vista 2020, February 21st, 2020. That would have been like when the show premiered, right?
I think so. Yeah, because I know it
Yeah.
ran from February to May. So,
Yeah. I mean, I watched every episode. I was all happy for it. I mean, Blu-ray.com. I don't have anywhere. Yeah, price not available. It may not be out yet. But then again, look, The Mandalorian is also not on home video.
now there's season 2 of Resistance.
That's interesting. I figure it would be because people probably
Exactly.
bought it on video.
Yeah, because season 1 dropped months before Disney Plus launched.
Okay.
So,
I'm a little bit bummed about that just because I mean, like if they dropped Mandalorian in 4K, I would buy it. I would buy it in 4K. Like this is, I know they want us to get their to pay for the monthly service. I'm like, you already have my money. I have children. Do you know how many times I watch fucking Tinkerbell? A lot. Although I will say though, did you see do you have Disney Plus?
I do not.
Okay, well, so yesterday for May the 4th, they put up a couple cool little things here. They put up a Star Wars biomes thing, and what it is it's like 18 minutes of just like scenic wallpaper, basically.
Ooh.
But it actually is like a drone going through like the different biomes, like Tatooine, Hoth. They don't do Endor. If I recall, but what they do is they go to Mandalorian chapter 4 when he goes to that village and that's where we meet Cara Dune. That biome is there and you see the Razor Crest come in. I thought that was pretty cool that they kept the Razor Crest. They have a little bit of Mando representation in there. Right. I love that. And it was kind of cool to check out. And they also have like Star Wars ships. And so they have one, it's literally a walking tour through the Millennium Falcon and then also through the Star Destroyer. And you could tell that it's like these are the sets from the Rise of Skywalker, the sets that they built. So they just put someone on like a steady cam and slowly went through the ships. And this is just all the footage that they shot, but it's kind of cool to just get this like really kind of intimate interior view without there being like the hustle and bustle of a fucking war happening. So that's pretty chill. They did a couple of cool things yesterday, and also they put out a new little, what was it? The Force Awakens from its snap,
Oh yeah, that one I heard about. Yeah,
that was pretty good. Let's see here. Yeah, the Dark Beast here says the Star Wars Simpsons special was pretty damn amusing. Yeah, it was 3 minutes. It was 3 minutes. I like that one. So, anyway, all right, let's see here. When does Willow come out? I don't know. Probably next year sometime. So, and Amazon Overlord asks, wasn't Rise of Skywalker filmed in Seattle? No.
Didn't they film it? When it comes to at least the sequel trilogy, didn't they ever film in Pinewood Studio?
I'm sorry, film where?
Pinewood Studio.
Yeah, they shot Pinewood in London. And then they shot Pinewood in London, and then they shot a lot of the reshoots were done at Bad Robot Studios.
And where's that?
In Santa Monica.
Huh.
So that's the whole thing. It's like they did they had so they shot it, they did like again most of the stuff, like so like when Harrison Ford popped up in The Rise of Skywalker, like they kept that silent, right? And they flew him private jet. They flew him from LA over to London, secretively, told no one, cleared the set, shot that scene, flew him back, and like most of the cast didn't even know. I think Adam Driver was like the only one who knew. And so when they saw the movie and they saw that part, they did not know that was going to be in it. There. So I'm definitely like, I'm definitely pretty happy to see what's going to be going with that one. Hold on here. Sammy says LMAO for Rise of Skywalker. They flew everyone out to the desert and then use green screens there. Well, the green screens make sense when you're trying to just have a backdrop, you know? Like the thing is though, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if like if Taika Waititi's Star Wars movie predominantly is shot like on the volume, you know, and I wouldn't be surprised within the next 5 to 10 years if the volume technology becomes like because you know they keep expanding upon it, right? Just imagine like a full warehouse, and it's just nothing but LED panels, top and bottom, you know, and then they can even do massive like outdoor, completely crazy scaling of shit. I mean, that would be nuts, you know, and it would take a very visual director to get in there and really make it work. I don't know. I'm really happy about that technology. I really like it. Did I lose you?
I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you were talking to the chat. So.
No, sorry. I was kind of talking to you in the chat and.
Oh, my bad.
No. It's all good. It's all good. Hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Sometimes and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot there. I think the technology is going to put us at a place where, with any luck, it will actually start to kind of decrease some of the. It will decrease some of the issues. You know, like the cost. I should say it should decrease some of the cost, because if these movies can be shot and they look fantastic inside the volume. I mean, look at. Have you seen Mandalorian at all?
Yes, I have.
Okay. You saw season 2.
Yes.
Okay. So season 1 had a decent size volume, right? It was like the first build of it. Season 2, they expanded it and they made it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you know, like remember the shot and it was episode 4. No, I think it was episode 3 of book 2. I'm sorry, of season 2. And that was the one where we meet Bo-Katan.
Uh-huh.
And at the end of the episode, like Mando is holding Grogu and he's looking out over the ocean as the ship takes off.
Uh-huh.
Right. Well, there's a behind the scenes photo of that where literally it's just like the actor in the suit. It wasn't Pedro, but the actor. Mando is standing there and he's just in front of the LED screen. And that's all just like, it wasn't done in front of a green screen. That was literally all done in front of an LED.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, but you couldn't tell because it looked massive. It just looked massive. You know, the way they shoot this stuff. I mean, there's a reason why the budgets are like 15 million an episode right now. But think about it. If you do 15 million an episode times 8, that is what? $100 million. Right? It's $100 million for the whole season. And you get 8 episodes and it generates how many hundreds of millions in overall profit? It's nuts.
Certainly an assload of cash, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. H-Bart's here. Another $5. Thank you, man. It says, whatever happened to Matt Smith in episode 9? I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was a rumor, was it not?
No. He was cast. He was cast and they shot shit with him. Yeah. He was just cut out.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know what character he was. He's never talked about it. He's clearly under an NDA.
Yeah. Because I know in The Last Jedi, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I think he had a scene or two in, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was in Canto Bight. Yeah, he was the one who he was like that crazy red alien, like the guy, oh, they're parking on the beach. Like that fucking moron. That's who Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in that. I'm like, I lost respect for him when I first saw that, to be honest with you. Yeah, I just didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Amazon Overlord here does say, geeks and gamers are going to have a field day with this new Black Superman movie. Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Honestly, that's why I'm glad I'm dipping out of talking about Snyder stuff for a while.
Yeah. Anything that's not a straight white dude, oh shit, when it comes to geeks and gamers.
Yeah, but unless they get called out for it and then they trot out everybody and Jeremy just stands behind them like, look at all my minorities and people of color.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. I see Bronx. Oh, hold on. Asking, is there going to be an Alita Battle Angle 2? I don't know about Alita Battle Angle 2. But Battle Angel 2, I mean, you know what? Rodriguez might get it after doing Book of Boba Fett. Because usually if you bring in a director to a project like that, they might work with you for the next one. So we don't know. We do not know. We'll have to find that out. But all right, man. Hey, I got someone else to get to here, and I'll let you go, Tony. Thank you very much for calling on in, man.
No problem.
Have a
See
good
you
one, buddy.
next
Thank you very much. I'll see you, dude. Okay. Real quick here. Rainbow the Gamer asks, what do I think happened to Boba Fett? He got fat in the 5 years he was out there. I don't know. I don't know what happened to him. All I know is he's still the badass, and I'm so glad it's Tamara Morrison. Like, that to me was a big thing for the fans. You know what I mean? Like, that to me was like really special. And I'll tell you this though, I loved Bad Batch. I thought it was amazing. All right. So according to Dark Beast here, from what he recalls, the rumors about Matt Smith were that he was going to be an Imperial that had the essence of Palpatine in him, but they just ended up bringing back the actual Palpatine. Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I kind of wish they would have done that. As much as I like Ian McDermott, I kind of wish it was the other way, to be honest with you. I just do. All right. John, what's up, man? Long time no talk. Oh no. I think John fell asleep. He's done this before. All right. Well, we'll hang out a minute. We'll see what happens here. I did drop the link.
Right.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, my phone when it blanks out, the screensaver mode, it cancels the audio. So
that's the problem. StreamYards, they're getting a little bit better with their mobile, right? With their mobile.
It's all right.
Like 2 weeks ago when I was in bed because of my back injury, I was just live streaming from my phone. I was like laying in bed and like holding my phone for an hour and live streaming, and I thought it worked out pretty well.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, so they're definitely they're coming along with the tech, so that's pretty cool. So all right, man. Well, hey, we haven't talked in a while, so what's on your mind for this evening?
Oh, not much. Just finishing up the semester of school, so I've been really busy, and saw a couple movies, but you'll probably don't want to hear spoilers on them. Saw Nobody, which was pretty good. I enjoyed Christopher Lloyd in the movie, and I like the movie because a lot of the typical things that you see, the cliches that you see in movies, didn't happen. So now I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I do want to watch it. How long is it anyway?
It's like an hour and a half. It's real short.
I have a rental of it. I was given, so I can rent it. Yeah, it was given to me a couple weeks ago. I just haven't had the chance to redeem it yet. So maybe I'll do that tonight, because I'll probably be wrapping this up here after you. Just because mostly because it's like I did an hour and a half stream earlier today, and then I didn't realize that my voice is like really tired.
Oh, it's okay.
So I get like that sometimes, and it's been a long day. It's so funny this evening. My girlfriend comes in and she's like, I need your help. I'm like, what? She's like, there's a possum, and I'm like, oh god, did a possum get in the house? Because we were like airing the house out, so like we had the front and back door open. No, we have a cat that is basically outdoor now. But we built, we live in Washington. It's cold. We built her like a little bed, a little fort, and with like heated blankets and stuff for the winter. And a possum had climbed up in her cat bed and fallen asleep.
Right.
And so like my girlfriend spooked it and it ran underneath the chair. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we just kind of moved things around. And I took a broom handle and I just like tapped it on I just lightly tapped it on the butt, thinking like this, he'll leave. And no, he just like looks at it. It's like, what's up? Try like biting the broom handle a little bit, not hard. Like it's a younger possum.
Right.
What it
okay.
is. And I'm like, I'm not going to hurt an animal. I didn't hit, I just like kind of lightly tapped it thinking it would scare it out. And then I remembered when I was, working at the drive-in in San Diego, we had a possum one night, come into our workshop and hide underneath the workbench that we couldn't get to. And my coworker, my boss at the time was like drunk, and he was like, "Oh, we got to get this thing out of here. What are we going to do?" So he's like, "All right, give me a broom." I'm like, "Okay." And he tries to poke it and it won't budge. He's like, "Okay, I have an idea. What if we try to smoke it out?" And I'm like, "What do you mean smoke it out?" And he like lights the broom on fire inside this like workshop. And there's like paint and gas cans and oil and shit. And I'm like, the fuck are you doing, man? And then he blew it out, and he tried like getting smoke underneath there to like smoke it out a little bit. And then he's all like, I don't know what else to do. Maybe we could electrocute it. And I'm like, wait, what? He's like, no. I don't mean like, we don't like kill it or nothing, but like maybe we just shock it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you propose we shock a possum that's like, his butt's exposed, like his tail's exposed? Like, what do you think's gonna like happen? And he's like, I don't know. And so he just goes and he gets like
Well, he
the
had
back of,
watched Alien, has he?
I think so, yeah. We worked at a theater, so any idea we had for anything came literally from
From the movies.
from a movie. Keep in mind, this guy liked to start fires too, and like I'll tell a quick story with that. But so anyway, like, so he goes and he gets like the back of a stereo that has like the like the tearaway, like the standard plug-in cord that you would find, right? You can take it off, whatever. So he takes a pair of wire cutters and he cuts it open and he like strips it down to where like just the two wires are exposed, and he plugs it in an extension cord and he kind of taps them together and there's like some sparks. And I'm like, dude, come on, man. Like, no, like don't do this to a possum. And he just goes like, yeah, it's a good idea. Yeah. I think he realized at this point he's going a tad too far. So he puts it down. And then I take the cord and I move it outside. I'm like, well, let's just unplug this. But then as I'm coming back, he's got the possum by the tail. Because he was just fucking hammered. So he reaches down, he grabs the possum by the tail, and this possum is like digging its claws into the concrete, and it's just like scraping the concrete. Right.
Yeah.
Like you could like the claw marks, I'm pretty sure this happened in 2001. The claw marks, I'm pretty sure, are still there. Here it is 20 years later. And then he just pulls it out and he just like throws it towards, like, we have a big like storage container, and it just lands on the ground and it bumps like once, and then it just like rolls over on its feet, kind of just shakes its ass real quick, and then just trots off like nothing happened. And we're like, well, we fucking showed that one. So yeah, possums, they're crazy. But let me tell you this fire story real quick. So
All right.
So we had dumpsters at the drive-in, and we would get bored some nights, and we'd like to light fires because it was a parking lot. Okay, so like we knew what we were doing, and there'd be some nights where maybe there'd be a puddle or something, so we would see whether or not gas would burn on water, right? And then there was one night where we had fireworks, and we had firecrackers, and so we stood up the firecrackers, and made like a domino trail in a pool of gasoline just to see what would happen. So one night we had a dumpster. One night we found a bale of hay. Someone had left a bale of hay. Some reason, right? Just a bale of hay.
Right.
So we burned it. Okay. But we decided to burn it with the strict intention of using the fire extinguisher on it. Finally having a reason to use the fire extinguisher. Okay. That was our logic. We were probably pretty hammered at the time. So that was our logic. So we burn this thing and we pull out the fire extinguisher and we have, like, yeah, we're fucking firefighters, dude. Right. All that shit. So the next week I'm cleaning the theater. I'm in the back of our small side by where, like, not too far away from where the dumpsters are. And I look over, I smell smoke, and it's like 4:00 in the morning, and I smell smoke. I'm like, oh no, what the hell's going on? Right. Are we going through another fire? Because we'd already been through, a big fire in San Diego at this point. And I look over and like, I see the dumpster, and the dumpster is literally like it's lit up. Like there's 15-foot high flame coming out of the dumpster. And
So
I'm like
smoking.
smoking. And I was a manager at the time, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know what happened. So I like dropped my broom and scoop, and I ran to the Connex box or storage box. I grabbed the fire extinguisher. I ran back over there, and imagine my fat pudgy ass like just hauling this huge fucking fire extinguisher, and I'm like, get the fuck out of the way, and I dramatically like plant my feet, and I grab the pin, and I pull the pin, and I throw the pin, and I aim the tube, and I just go
Yeah.
fuck, we used this thing last week. It just ran out of air. And ultimately did not end up putting out the fire in a very dramatic fashion. We let it burn. But on the bright side, it turns out that what it was an intentional thing, because that same person, he told his uncle who owned it. He told his uncle that he threw a cigarette butt in the dumpster with all of these yard trimmings that we have, or all these like, tree trimmings.
Shrubs. Yeah.
Right. This is San Diego in the summer, it's all dry.
Oh yeah, it's all dry.
So that's what he told his uncle. The reality of the situation was that as I found out later on, because he didn't want to tell me, because he and I were equals at that point in regards to management. And he
Right.
didn't want to tell me that, no, he purposefully lit the dumpster on fire just to clear space. I was so pissed. I was so pissed off because, like, what the fuck? Like, and thankfully now this particular person is a lot more responsible in life. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Pretty
It's
funny.
just like, what the hell? Anyway, that's my story on that one. Not really movie
And
related.
I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, I never burned anything. No, I've never set anything on fire intentionally. Like that would be done like in a harmful, like when I was drunk. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like the one that's I was always like the designated driver. I'm that guy.
Oh no,
Like-
I'm like me and my brother, and he had his sons, right? And his sons, when they did stuff like that, they always got into trouble. And me and my brother always did that. We never got in trouble. And we look at the kids going, how are they not? How did we not get in as much trouble as they did? Because we did some funny stuff,
Well, I'll tell you
But,
this. Nowadays, the kids all document everything. That's the problem.
Right.
That's what happens, right? The kids document everything. Like there are literally like officers at colleges, like universities and stuff. They will create fake profiles, generally of like attractive women
right?
that they
Fake.
like that they fake, and they go and they friend all these horny college boys, or
Right.
people, and then they just look through their Facebook feed and go, "Oh, you're 19, and here's you with weed, and here's you with alcohol, and this, and here's your reprimand," Which I'm sorry, I view that as an absolute violation. Like to me, that comes across like entrapment. I know it's not entrapment, but
Actually, I think it would be entrapment because you're inducing a situation where a person would normally not. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Entrapment's really more like a setup. You set
I
the
mean,
person up
the
to
thing
be
is, though,
stupid.
cops are under no obligation to tell you the truth.
Oh
right?
yeah.
And
I mean,
and then to tie that back into the overall subject of tonight, neither are studios. Studios will never tell you the truth.
yeah. I mean,
So-
I mean, the more I've listened to how movies are made on your channels, the more I'm amazed that anything decent ever gets made at all. I mean, that's just
there's control elements that always happen. You know what I mean? Like there's always really good people working there. Anyway, according to H Bart's here, another $5 says, "Who is the rudest celeb you have met?" Probably like the rudest one that I've met is Michael Dorn, Worf from Star Trek: The Next Generation. He was pretty rude, but then again, he may just have been having a bad day. And like we weren't properly introduced, and I was doing behind the scenes photography, and maybe he thought that I was like being Snoopy or something. I don't know.
right.
I think it's I'll tell you the nicest one I met's Doug Jones. He's a sweetheart. DB Sweeney was pretty rude. Yeah, DB Sweeney was pretty rude. He was in The Cutting Edge, and he was on like X-Files and everything else. We did a 3-day shoot with him in 2009, and he was kind of a bit of a diva, But
Right.
he was like the more, Gary Graham was nice, but he's like hardcore Republican, and the whole time he was like, "Fuck Obama," but he's talking with these Blackwater guys. I'm not kidding you. We shot with Blackwater, like mercenaries.
Right. Yeah.
No,
that's
I'm not-
all
we-
they
we-
really are.
Yeah, like
they're-
we needed, because the director was a former Navy SEAL, so he called up his former Navy SEAL buddies, who are
Right.
all contractors for Blackwater. And at the time, Blackwater was trying to establish a training base east of San Diego, out in Potrero, and the citizens out there were fighting back because they didn't want there to be a base. They didn't want there to be the Blackwater
Yeah.
base. So
'cause it'd
Blackwater
be all live fire and stuff.
No,
you
well,
know?
what Blackwater did is they actually found a location in South San Diego in Chula Vista,
Okay.
not far from the border, and they set up their training center there. And I'm like, well, then I guess gunfire is kind of common, and so down there it's kind of common. And so I mean, there's like,
Well, it's common when you can tell the difference between a firecracker and a gunshot. I can. So
Yeah.
I learned the difference in the tone pitches. So
Uh, but the average person can't. You know what I mean? Like the average person doesn't understand. They think like some people think like a little poppet is a is a gunshot, right?
right.
It's like but it is what because then again, like how many people think that you could put like a soda bottle and tape it to the barrel of a gun and it's a silencer, and like we've just conditioned people. And this is the thing I learned. I took a this is movie related, by the way. In 2012, I took a 2-day homicide writers course,
Right.
and it was taught by a former homicide detective from the San Bernardino County Sheriff.
Right.
And he was filming it for a DVD. He was filming a DVD to sell, and so he
Right.
needed people in
So
the class. So yeah, he offered a 2-day thing for free. And I was
That's
like,
cool.
awesome. And we went through like real cases and everything else, and like to learn how movies and television get it all wrong. But what he said was, he's like, personally, he's like, I think CSI is the stupidest shit on the planet. He's like, but I'm really thankful for it because so many people think that that is how actual police work gets done. So they just like they think that they could outsmart us because they saw it on CSI, like
Right.
so like that's always kind of funny to learn. And then when I watch TV shows and it's like you see like a murder scene and there's like 18,000 cops there,
Right.
and it looks flooded. He's like, no, we clear the scene. Like no one's allowed in, like no one's allowed in, and because it would contaminate things.
Yeah, contamination.
And he's like, there are days where like we'll bring an RV and they'll park an RV outside of a crime scene if there's a murder, and they'll live in the RV for 4 or 5 days while they literally comb through every element of the house. So it's very meticulous and tedious work, and it's very funny to me that so many of these movies, and of course they have to compress it for time,
Right.
they have to or condense it for time, but it's just like I have so much trouble watching these procedurals now. Because like, because I know, and I still find the actual process so much more fascinating, than this stuff. But I still enjoy a good murder mystery and all that jazz.
Right.
I just think the whole thing's pretty damn funny. So, all right, let's see here. Taylor here says, I had Peter Yarrow as an Uber passenger, nice guy. He's the one who wrote Puff the Magic Dragon. Oh, that's funny. You do suck here to say Uwe Boll believes story should be last or not at all. I reached out to Uwe Boll a couple years ago and I wanted to interview him over his video game movies, right? But he did not want to do that because he caught so much shit for those video game movies. He didn't want to do that at all. And the thing is, I don't want to grill him over these movies. You know what I mean? Like, I think you guys who listen to me all the time, well enough that like it could be a shitty movie. I still want to hear how it was made.
Right.
And so like, I want to talk to him literally from like, as a video game fan, I want to talk to him about the process of it. Like good, bad, in the middle. I want to know what happened. And I don't want to give him shit over it. I don't want to sit there and say that Blood Rain was one of the worst movies I ever saw. And that literally the only emotion that Tara Reid had in Alone in the Dark was putting on glasses because it made her feel smart.
Well, actually, the worst movie I ever saw was Like a Boss. It was such a ripoff of the show Two Broke Girls that they had returning characters doing the same character in the movie.
Wait, like a Boss was a show. What?
Like a Boss, it was the two girls that owned a shop and they needed money, so they let a rich buyer.
Yeah. Okay.
Invest in it, and then they wound up being owned by the new boss.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, and I see they got Jennifer Coolidge is in it as well.
Yeah. That and the two characters that were. They were just a ripoff. It was such a ripoff of Two Broke Girls that I'm like, how can they not get sued? Because they had two returning actors, the Polish girl, the big Polish girl,
yeah,
and Andy Candy. They played the same characters that they did on the TV show in the movie, and the expression on the actor's face was, yeah, I'm getting a check. That's about it.
It's like, didn't I already do this? Jeez.
At last, I watched it for about a half hour. I just got up and left. I actually left the movie theater, and that's actually the only time I've ever done that. And I was like, no, I can't stand this anymore. This is so bad. It was so bad that you couldn't be fascinated by how bad it got. It was bad, and it was bad. I mean, it was like, I can't stand this anymore. But I mean, yeah, don't watch that movie. I mean, it's really
No,
bad.
I like Rose Byrne, and I don't want to. I don't want to risk seeing something that's pretty terrible like that. But all right, John, I'm gonna let you go. I got one more guy to get to. A couple people actually popped in. So I'm just gonna breeze through them. But thanks a lot for coming in, man.
You bet. Have a good one.
Have a good one, buddy. Thank you very much. Real quick. Nope. The worst movie is movie 43, Amazon Overlord. That is an objectively bad opinion. That movie is actually pretty funny. I'm sorry. The line there that Kieran Culkin says to Emma Stone about HPV when he's all like, it's your disease, we're just the carrier. That had me on the floor in stitches because that's so fucked up and it's true. I think movie 43 is really, really, really funny. That's okay. Let's see. Hold on. Dark Beast says here, just found out the leader of the commune in the Colorado mountains is Gazi Kodo. He released a video looking like the Joker. Yeah, Gazi Kodo's insane, man. I haven't thought about Gazi in a long time. Was it like Aruhu? Was that the one? Like, was that Gazi's call? I forget that shit. Anyway, no, you cannot say an unkind word about The Room. That movie is amazing. I will say this. I saw The Room in LA on the Sunset Strip Saturday night, midnight, early 2000. I think it was 2009. And I got drunk, went to a midnight screening of The Room. Tommy Wiseau introduced the movie. Life-changing experience, man. You got to see it live. It's great. All right, we're going to get to Daniel. Thank you very much for waiting, man.
Of course, yeah.
So what can I do for you? What's on your mind tonight?
Yeah, so how's your back first? I just wanted to know.
Oh, it's feeling better. It's feeling better. I can lift my kids again, which is nice. The back healed, I'd say, relatively quickly. Like, the pain went away within like about a week and a half. But the bruised rib, that was the big one. That hurt to laugh, to move. I couldn't like lay down, flat on my back. That is just now starting to heal. So it's, it doesn't hurt as bad, but but there's like pressure on it, which is a very odd feeling. And so, yeah, other than that, I'm doing about okay. I'm doing okay.
I'm glad to hear you feel better.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
You know what?
I don't like being cooped up like that.
You know what? I thought about you earlier because I was at Shake Shack and I almost fell on my ass, and that just made me think of you.
And, well, I mean, I'm glad you didn't fall on your ass at Shake Shack, although they have liability insurance. So
I know. And
mean,
afterwards, I was like, "Why did I just not fall?" I grabbed onto the garbage, and I was like, "Why did I just not fall and break something?"
Yeah, exactly. At that point, you're just like, "All right, cool. Like, I can just take a year off, man." Like that's what you. I'm not advocating for insurance fraud, folks. I'm merely pointing out that if you actually legitimately fall and it's due to negligence on the behalf of the business, you could be entitled to a very nice payout. They have liability insurance for a reason. So that's what and the apartment complex where I fell has all that stuff. I just have to talk to I got to figure out though if I want to go down that path. I'm going to wait to see what the insurance company does, and then we'll see what happens. So I don't know.
I mean, it's a big headache, like having to go through all that. Yeah, I'm sure. Just like, yeah.
Yeah. Amazon here. Did I fall down while I was doing Uber Eats? I fell down while I was doing DoorDash. So yeah, I did. I did fall down while I was delivering DoorDash. So yeah, I'll go get some pictures of the place this week, and I'll show you guys like what it looked like in the dark, to give you an idea of like how hard it would be to see. Because basically what it is, imagine, okay, so usually a flight of stairs goes up to the top and the top step connects with the landing, right?
Yep. So
in this case, the top step doesn't actually connect with the landing entirely. There's a divot in the landing. That is a step. But the thing is like the stairs going up were all painted black with a yellow strip. So you could see that they were, that there was an edge there. But the divot in the landing as far as I recall, did not have that. And it was all light blue and it was dark. There was no lights on in the landing or the stairwell.
No, I wouldn't be surprised if that's not their first time having somebody fall and break something.
Probably not.
There.
And there's witnesses though. There are witnesses that watched it happen because
So he picked
a
up his food
lady
and just went back inside or something. The guy who you delivered the food.
No,
to?
he didn't say anything. I don't even know if he my like I fell back and my hat flew off. And I was halfway home when I realized I didn't have my hat. So I had to turn around and go back. And thankfully I grabbed my flashlight this time and then like hobble out, walk up, find my hat and come back. And then, like it was wild, man. Like it was wild.
Have you
I
been
couldn't
able to do DoorDash again since?
I haven't done it in 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't done DoorDash in 2 weeks because I don't, I want to sort out this insurance thing before I go back on.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So Dark Beast here says, "Hey Matt, just tell him you really hurt yourself as you now have a crack in your ass after the fall." Yeah, there you go, man. There we go. I have a crack in my ass now. It's been there for a long time. It's a pre-existing condition.
Okay, so my topic was, how do you feel about Eternals? Because the weird thing with Marvel movies is that every single time I think about the ones coming up, I'm like, okay, it's going to be the same formula. And then they drop the teasers or the trailer, and then I just get like really excited. Like for Shang-Chi, I was not looking forward to Shang-Chi, and I saw the trailer, and I'm like pumped for that movie. So I don't know. They always do a good job, I think.
Yeah, no, the marketing machine is always good for them. And I think at this point now, they also have like the loyalty built up amongst the audience, and that is going to be the biggest thing for them if they ever do have a flop. Because, I mean, even though Captain Marvel was, in my mind, the most mediocre of Marvel films, right? Like, it wasn't outright bad. It wasn't outright good. It was just in the middle, and you never want to be in the middle. You never want to be in the middle because the middle is forgettable.
I think Captain Marvel got a lot of hate because of Brie Larson's behavior.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm not going to lie. Like, I commented on it when she first dropped that, like, I don't need a white dude over 40 telling me what to think about Wrinkle in Time.
Yeah.
And because back then I was a lot more edgy and I was really kind of going after, like, I was kind of big in the anti SJW community. So I'm like, oh, Brie Larson just brought SJW politics to Marvel. And
I think to a certain extent she's right. She just hasn't figured out how to express herself without triggering people.
Well, the thing of the matter is, though, it's like what she's talking about is something I kind of agree with, but it's also like, but at the same time I don't, because it's kind of a weird area. So what she's talking about is like, she wanted more people of color, women of color specifically, to be accredited reviewers. And that is something where if you go and you look at, let's say, Rotten Tomatoes and you look at the top critics are generally white people, Now, is that to say that there is some movement to discredit minority or people of color reviewers? No, not at all. What it is, though, is that Hollywood, and especially this kind of stuff, is all about who you know. And so a lot of these people get into these jobs based upon nepotism or cronyism because they just know the right people. So if they, let's say you start off and you're writing something small for some small fan outlet, and you start chatting up other critics on Twitter, and you get to know certain people, or you live in LA and you guys all tend to go to the same events.
Correct.
And you get, and then they go, hey, we have like, you don't make any money doing that, or you make very little money doing that. We got a new spot opening up over here. It pays pretty well. Let me throw in a good word for you. And then it's a lot of that kind of stuff. There's clicks in Hollywood. There's very clicky in the film review game, And so as a result of that, like I can see what Brie Larson is talking about. And she made a good point about wanting more voices. What she said, what was wrong was how she said it, I think. But what really cracked me up, though, was I don't remember the guy's name. I think he works for Cinema Blend now, but he went to a press junket for Captain Marvel, and he brought up that controversy, but he actually explained Brie Larson's position back to Brie Larson, and all she said was, yeah. So like he explained it to her. Like, I mean, come on. Like, I'm not an SJW, but like that is like the definition of mansplaining, And like, but so also he took all of like any, like, you know, if any kind of criticism on what she said, he basically was like, no, as a man, I co-sign this and it's fine, which is the weirdest thing. But then, you know, I also do think that Brie gets a lot of unnecessary hate. And, you know,
I do too. Yeah.
like, I'll tell you this, when she went on Jimmy Kimmel, though, you've seen those photos, right?
Which one was it?
The one of her in the black dress.
Who was she with?
Jimmy Kimmel. If you're on Google, type in Brie Larson, Jimmy Kimmel. I think that should be it. If you guys in the chat know what I'm talking about, then
this one, I'm not sure actually.
Is it her? Like, is it? There's a lot of cleavage, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, she was being the host.
She was the host of Jimmy Kimmel. Yeah.
No,
Real quick
I
here.
haven't seen that.
H Bart's here, $5. It says Jarbo v. Stairs, dawn of lawsuit. Yes, definitely. Hold on here. Larson.
I haven't seen that one. I see it here. I have not seen this one.
Oh, are you looking at it now?
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's that's a bit of a provocative dress.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Oh yeah. I mean, look, I am not trying to objectify Brie Larson. That is not my intent. I'm saying that triggered that triggered so many of the dudes who hate her, by the way, right? That triggered them because they're like, because all they can do is look at her boobs. That's it. That's all they got. You know, they got upset, but it's like, you all know that they sat there and like cranked one out to her later on. Anyway.
Oh my God. Talk about objectifying people. Have you seen those clips, those montages of Amy Adams and interviewers acting around Henry Cavill and how cringy it is? Henry Cavill.
What, the female reviewers around Henry Cavill?
Like, yeah, how like they interview him, or like how Amy Adams, like how she talks about him when he's like on when they're doing interviews.
No, I haven't.
Like the hosts are like, it's like so cringy, it's crazy.
Is it like the hosts are basically like, because he's so hot? Is that what it is?
Yeah, like that's.
Oh no,
crazy,
I mean, like, dude, I am comfortable in my sexuality. Even I can say Henry Cavill is like the fucking hottest dude on the planet. Like, seriously, that guy's attractive. You know,
I know. They're just like, what I'm saying is that they're, if it was two men or a man talking like that about a lady, if the table were reversed, people would go crazy.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a double standard there. Yeah, I mean, I would probably like. Well, okay, when I first moved to LA, like you are just not used to seeing that many beautiful people, literally, right? And it's not just like, it's like it goes to a whole other level of hotness. Like, you know, like you have your normal hot. Like we used to joke and go like, oh, like you'd see one girl and like, oh, you know, she's like an LA 5, but she's like an Ohio 10. You know what I mean? And that, look, that's kind of, it's very sexist to say, it's a joke and don't take it seriously. But the idea there is that when people come to LA and they come to be in that world, like to be actors or actresses or models or entertainers or hosts or whatever, man, like there is an expectation in LA. There really is. I got kicked out of the Roosevelt Hotel bar because I was in shorts and flip flops one night. You know, and they're like, you can't, this guy was like, you can't be here dressed like that. And I said, do you work here? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, are you on the clock? And he goes, no. And I'm like, well, then I don't fucking care. You know, like I'm drinking my beer and then I'll leave, but I'm drinking my beer and stuff like that. Cause I didn't care about like what I wore. I wore shorts and flip flops, but that actually was a big issue in LA. Like you have to dress a certain way. You have to look a certain way. Because people like there's this expectation of living in LA. So especially when you're women, like, you know, Chloe Dykstra, ever heard of her?
No.
She's a cosplayer, right? And she was you could Google her and look her up, but like I was at a party. This was a E3 video game thing, as a like Destructoid party back in 2011, and it was mostly fat, white, bearded, glassed males. You know, nerds, right? And we're at this party, and in walks Chloe Dykstra. And I didn't know it was her at the time, but she is like every dude in the room, head, right? Rubberneck like a motherfucker. Just checked her out. And like my friend, I was with my friend Anthony, and my friend Anthony, he was like staring. It was just like tongue hung out, blah, 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 just like I mean, like it was crazy. It was and the thing that I'm like, look, I'm like, I got a girlfriend. I'm not looking to like, I'm not looking to hook up or nothing. I'm not looking to cheat. So I'm not going to sit there and like have that I'm not looking to get anything out of talking to her. Right. So I ended up, she actually came over to me and this other guy having a conversation and struck up a conversation with us. And she's asking us, so she asks me like literally this out of the blue random question. She goes, have you seen X-Men First Class? Right? Like right off the bat, ask me that question. And I'm like, yeah, because it had just come out. This is 2011. And it had just come out. And I'm like, yeah, I saw it. And she goes like, what did you think of the special effects? Again, this chick's like a 10 out of 10, dressed to the nines at this party with a bunch of fucking fat nerdy dudes. And she's coming over asking me if I watched an X-Men movie. I mean, like, it's like fishing with dynamite. You could literally ask anybody there this question and you're going to get the same answer. But unlike, I mean, we're in LA, so clearly I'm probably not the only one who can answer this thing. But I said, yeah, the special effects were good, but it's a bummer that they weren't finished all the way yet. Because that's true. They shot the movie, they rushed it out in 11 months from filming X-Men First Class.
That bad. Wow.
No, they weren't that bad, but they also weren't as polished as they could have been. But the point was, she asked me about that, like she was testing me, right? And so I answered it. She's like, "Oh yeah." She's like, "Oh, you're the only person that has noticed that." She's like, "My dad worked on those." And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." Like, so we ended up having this conversation, but the whole time my friend is like tongue out, good, like the whole, like I'm talking like we knew her. At the time we knew her name was Chloe, didn't know anything else about her, and like literally he's like trying to e-stalk her on the internet on the drive home. He's like, all right, I'm gonna find her, man. I'm gonna, he's like, do we remember where she said she worked at? I'm like, are you fucking serious? He's like, we're going to E3 tomorrow, right? I'm like, yeah, she'll be at E3. There's like 100,000 people that go to E3. It's it's like needle and haystack for one specific thing. But the whole point, I'm just saying, it's like when it comes to LA, there are expectations of beauty. And so like, a lot of these basement dwelling neckbeards, they're never gonna understand that. They will never be able to talk to it, And so it's like talking to someone, like if I was going to watch Henry Cavill, I would probably get a little bit tongue tied talking to Henry Cavill, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be like, you were great in that Bruce Willis movie nobody saw.
Oh, which one?
He was in a movie. It was one of his first films where it was like him and Bruce Willis. Like he played Bruce Willis's son.
The Cold Light of Day.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
So yeah, it's neither have I. Neither did anybody else, as far as I know. But the whole point essentially is just, you got like in LA, there's a certain thing. And I can understand that people who don't have any experience with attractive people, like it's true. They're not like you and me. I look like a troll. I understand that,
I don't think that's correct, but
well, I have a negative self-image due to years of sustained online abuse, which triggers me mentally. So no,
I mean, if you see yourself like the picture that you showed earlier, that's.
Well, this was me. What is it? This one right here. This is me from 2018. This one. I bet you I have a fat hog though in that one right there, right? Like it's covering, but it's covering a lot. That's actually there's another one that person drew that actually does have me masturbating on something. I didn't show because I don't want to get I don't want to get destroyed. But yeah, people, dude, I'm just telling you, man. People have very much made a lot of images about me over the years. So
earlier I was just saying that I've come across these montages of like hosts like drooling over Henry Cavill and like talking about how hard it was, and as if the guy wasn't in the room, like sitting right next to them and stuff, and it was just like super cringy. And, uncomfortable, like to just see like him experience that. And I think he's talked about the fact that he doesn't interact with women in the industry, or he doesn't approach them for that reason, actually.
No, he doesn't. He actually talked about it like when Me Too was a big thing. He basically was like, yeah, no, I don't do any of that. You know, like I don't do any of that. And like he's afraid that someone's going to sit there and make an accusation against him and stuff like that. And that, but him saying that actually got him in like in a lot of trouble. You know, people like they went after him for it. And I thought that was absolutely unfair because here's a guy, he's like, look, he's like, I'm a nice guy. He's a big nerd, you know,
like he's being guilty and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah. Like if I met Henry Cavill, I'd probably be like, so, what's your favorite Halo game? Yeah. Like you strike me as more of like I guarantee you probably might say 3, but like you kind of strike me as an ODSD kind of guy or something like that, you know, like you just throw out like a nerdy question and that would like be a complete like icebreaker for Henry Cavill. Like I could probably be good friends with Henry Cavill. Yeah. I'm going to make that proclamation. I'm going to say it. You know, I like Henry Cavill. I'm just saying, I'm just saying I would like to be friends with Henry Cavill. Let me just put that out there like that.
Oh yeah, he seems super cool. Like, yeah,
he's a super laid back guy. You can just like go like, hey, you want to get a beer and like talk about the latest, you know, like graphics cards. Like that video of him last year building that PC so is cool. One of my all-time favorite things because it was just like the tenderness and care he took. But like he's trolling everybody. He's just trolling everybody, especially at the Snyder Cut announcement when he had the mustache.
Yeah, right. Oh my god,
you know, like it was great. Like he just like that's the thing. He's got such a British sense of humor, and I don't think that comes out that often. He never gets a chance to really kind of explore that side of him. And I think like I would really love it one day if one movie, like kind of like Chris Hemsworth with Ghostbusters 2016. The only positive I'll give Ghostbusters 2016 is that it showed the world that Chris Hemsworth could be funny. And, you know, if we could get Henry Cavill in a role where he can actually like not be the straight man and actually have a little bit of fun, that could be interesting.
What came out, Ghostbusters, like, I think he was just coming off of like Thor 2, right? So he wasn't like,
no, Ghostbusters is 2016. He was coming off of Avengers 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see.
So, all right, man. Well, hey, I got one more guy to get to. And I'm gonna let you go, man. But it's been a lot of fun chatting with you.
It was so nice. Thank you.
And definitely call in again, Danielle. All right.
Okay. Have a good one.
Have a good one, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Let me take a quick look here at the chat. All right, H Parts. $5 here says Brie Larson for president wearing that dress. She wins the erection easily. Sorry, election. I stumbled there. Music Man here says Chris is not funny. I completely beg to differ. But hey, what's going on? James, how you doing, man? So let me ask you, how did you like the Bad Batch? Because I didn't talk to you afterwards.
Oh, it was okay, man. Bad Batch was great. Let's see. I liked the fact we saw Kanan Jarvis as a kid.
That was nice. That was really cool.
Worked well as a continuation of Clone Wars. Just overall, really good. Good length.
Yeah, the 70 minutes, it didn't feel like 70 minutes to me.
Best part. They could all be 70 minutes and I'd be happy.
Oh yeah. I what'd you think of Omega? Because that was one that caught a lot of
the
some
accent,
people liked, some people didn't.
She was the kid, right?
Yeah.
The accent, you could tell she was a fully grown woman doing that voice. Like us Australians, we cringed. It was terrible voice acting.
Well, yeah, because she's a Kiwi. And she's 37. Michelle Ang, I think is her name. I looked her up afterwards.
Yeah, she was not a good pick, I don't think.
Well, it's to me like there's times where it feels like her, her accent like was like really thick. You know,
look, I get the thick accent part, but like what I don't like is that like, look, I don't think she's a good voice actor. She was like playing she sounded like an adult, but she was playing a kid. Like she couldn't come across as very young.
Okay.
Like, she sounded like she was 37.
I get that. I get that. I mean, like, maybe they're going to tone it down as time goes on. Cause, you know, some of these voice actors, like, if you go back to the early stages of The Simpsons, the voices sounded a bit different. Like, they were a bit rougher, not as refined.
Yeah,
You know?
I get it.
And then,
Although,
but then, like,
yeah.
but then now they sound like so old.
Yeah.
Well, it's true. Your voices naturally change, right? The older you get. And Nancy Cartwright, I mean, or Julie Kavner is the worst in my opinion. You know, Marge Simpson's voice now, she sounds like Patty and Selma all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But other than that, I did enjoy the character.
Oh, yeah, no. Just beyond that bit with where it felt like the voice actor wasn't that great, it was good. Like, the story was good. The animation was great. I liked that we saw young Kane Jarrus. I liked the length. No other complaints.
Oh yeah, I thought that scene in Kanan was pretty badass, and but then Freddie Prinze Jr. was trying to talk like a teenager. That was pretty funny. Like
he can't come back here. Freddie Prinze Jr. cannot come back to Australia after what he did when he made Scooby-Doo the movie.
What did he do when he made Scooby-Doo the movie?
He demanded that Warner Brothers give him a helicopter to take him off the island where they were filming every single night. And the locals on the island felt that was an insult, especially since it was a resort island famous for its dolphins and subtropical palm trees.
That is weird, man.
Rowan Atkinson was fine to stay on the island. He loved it. He was a way bigger celebrity. He
was
turned
Rowan
down the offer.
Was he in Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, he was in the first one.
Okay, it's been so long since I've seen it. I got to watch it again.
Yeah, but no, it's a really expensive resort too. It's like hundreds of dollars a night to stay there, and he didn't think it was good enough for him.
Well, that's lame.
And when Rowan Atkinson, bigger name, loved it, tells you kind of person he is.
Well, yeah. I mean, but then again, like Freddie Prinze Jr., like at the time, he was kind of at the height of his career, you know? And I'm not trying to like, you know, he also was, I think in like his early 20s back then too. So, or like early to mid 20s. So he's cocky, right? Like American celebrities, they get cocky when they go out, you know, thinking that they're tough, that they're hot shit. He's playing Fred fucking in Scooby-Doo, man. Like, you know,
I mean, maybe it's societal differences. Like in Australia, you really can't be thinking you're better than other people, or else you're just not going to get anywhere in the society, because it's very much the country was founded by socialists.
Yeah.
I don't know much. I mean, more egalitarian.
Oh, okay. Well, I've always wanted to go to Australia. You know, I have a few friends in Melbourne, so I really like to go and check that out.
Hey, ever in Brisbane? Give me a holler.
Yeah, I don't know how the hell that's ever. I'm hoping. You know, I mean, like, I'm hoping that that one day I can afford to send myself, you know, and I guess my family. You know, we'll see how that goes.
Travel the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just really want to go to a couple. I want to go to Australia, and I want to go to New Zealand, and I want to go to Japan. And I would love to like go to Europe, you know, and see parts of like Germany and Austria, and like see like the Alps and like those old castles and stuff, because I like all that old history and shit, you know. So to me that's a lot of fun. I always enjoy that, and I think it'd be pretty cool to like head out there one day and see it myself. There's apparently like this 2-week long train ride from like Moscow like into Serbia, I think, right? Or like, you know, into
Siberia.
Siberia. My friend one time was like, we should totally fucking do that. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, all right, dude. Like we fly to Moscow, and I'm like, okay. He's like, we get on this train. I'm like, okay. And we travel through Siberia, and it's like 2 weeks. And I'm like, okay. And he's like, it would not be kind of cool. And then, but this is the same friend who at one point in time was like, he hit me, called me in the middle of the night. He's like, how would you feel about like spending $2,000 to go to Europe and go on one of those like date me cruises. And I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, it's like, like mail order brides. And I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, it's kind of like that. But you pay the money and like you go to like, it's like a 5-star thing and you go around, you travel through parts of Europe and it's like a week and a half or 2 week sort of deal. And they put you up in like these 5-star hotels and you just kind of meet all these beautiful women. And then you end up, like, and then you can make some connections that way. And I'm like, at the time he had like just got out of this like 4-year like abuse.
Hello? I can't hear you. Hey, you're back. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, yeah, it's StreamYard usually around like a couple hours and it gets a bit wonky. But
I did hear. I get the gist though. Basically, giant cruise for mail order brides.
Yeah, but it's like I think it's like the website's like dateme.com or something. That's what I remember him pitching us. I mean, because I looked into this, right? I was bored.
All I know is bad idea.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like, so yeah, my friend had been with an abusive girl. She was emotionally and physically abusive on him for a while. And so when that whole thing happened, he was kind of looking for whatever. And I get it, man. I get it. Neither of us had the money. Thankfully, we didn't do it. But he was looking. He was on those mail order bride websites like crazy, And I'm like, dude, come on, man. I'm all like, look, you can give me crap. I've used Craigslist dating, okay, because I'm cheap and it was free.
Than Tinder.
Well, this is before Tinder, right? This is before Tinder. I mean, like, I got some stories from that's definitely not for this particular program. And I've done, I'm glad I'm in a long-term relationship.
On a less depressing note, you mentioned you liked The Room earlier.
Yeah, I do.
Tommy Wiseau has a YouTube gaming channel.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool.
And it's cringe. It's very bizarre.
Oh yeah. That's that makes all the sense in the world that it would be cringe. Because it's
bizarre,
it's Tommy
cringe,
Wiseau.
Doesn't know what he's doing. He understands video games, but he's not good at it.
Well, I mean, all things considered, if you think about it, the most people who play video games on stream are not very good at it. Like people don't go to Dr. Disrespect because he's good at, Warzone or some shit.
No, but he's horrible. He can't do anything.
See, that's the problem with me because I actually get kind of OCD over winning. Right? So like I like to win.
Yeah.
And so like when I'm playing, I've done streams before and it gets to be annoying because I'm like I'll go silent because I'm trying to play.
Yeah.
And then people are like,
yeah, I get that.
Like, so then I don't like to do streams where I'm doing video games. I like to do streams like this where we're just chatting and stuff. Those are always a lot more fun because it's very one-on-one and it's direct. But what I'd like to do is I would like to do the Amazon watch party stuff would be a lot of fun too.
I'd do that.
I just got to set it up. I keep forgetting to set it up. But I think I'm going to be home tomorrow night because I'm going to do another pregame show for the Bad Batch. I want to make that a thing. That was fun. I'll tell you, it's so funny. The pregame show had like a lot of people. The postgame, like the review, the discussion had like I think like 15 people in it. You know what I mean? Like it was so funny but that was a long episode. It was 70 minutes. It was a long episode.
The reason I wasn't there was because I had to go. Sorry.
No, I get it. I get it, man. It's like, it's a kind of, that's why like Loki, doing Loki at midnight on Tuesday nights here when they drop that, because that's going to be coming out now on Wednesdays. So like, it's like, oh, cool. You can do Loki and then you can do Bad Batch.
I'll try to be there.
Yeah. I'm going to try to reschedule like any delivery nights on Thursdays to like be done by like 10 at the latest, so then I can just get home.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be a fair amount of fun, I think, to do that kind of stuff. I had fun with it. Let's see.
Oh, did you see
Vaughn,
the?
oh, what?
Sorry, did you see the Simpsons short last night? The
Oh,
Star
I did.
Wars
Yeah.
one?
Oh, yeah. That was great.
Recycled assets and based off another short, like similar storyline to another short, heavily recycled assets.
Well, the only part of it that I don't get is the BB-8 part. I don't get why.
Recycled assets and recycled storyline.
Well, I mean, I can understand the recycled assets.
It was lazy. It was the laziest thing I've seen.
I thought it was funny, but I still don't get why BB-8.
It's not funny if you've seen the original short and it's the same thing.
Well, which short is it? I mean, I know there's there's the daycare one.
Like
well, it is very similar to the longest daycare, right? It is.
Yeah, was the.
But then again, like the guy who played Maul
storyline.
Well, the guy, the rival baby has been Maggie's rival baby since like season 1.
Yeah, I get that. I'm just saying, like, to the point where you're recycling assets from another short, like you couldn't come up with something more original.
Well, isn't that also kind of the humor of the satire? Because Star Wars at this point is anything but.
Lazy.
But isn't Star Wars like
it's
the
not
Force?
Hold
on, but the Force Awakens
to save money.
But the Force Awakens is basically just a remake of New Hope.
Yeah, and everyone hates it for that.
So wouldn't you think that the satire that they were going for would be to call upon that? Because this is Simpsons. I'll tell you what, Michael Price was one of the writers of that thing. We actually follow each other on Twitter because he's the showrunner of F is for Family. And for one, if you haven't seen F is for Family, you're missing out. It's, I think, the funniest goddamn show in the last 10 years.
I've seen it. Problem is cultural differences and references that don't make sense to us.
Oh, that's very true. I don't think you guys existed before.
We didn't exist until 1901.
Yeah, but it's 1970s America. It's pretty easy to get. It's just racism, the show.
Yeah, well, you have to understand the politics of Australia are very different. The sports, the way veterans work, it's all very different.
Yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. I mean, for me, it kind of reminds me of elements of my own childhood. I think that's kind of the key draw to it. But what I really enjoy about F is for Family is that the characters, the 4 seasons of the show right now is basically a year in the life of this family.
Remember the Veterans Parade thing? Episode thing they did for F is for Family?
Was it season 2 or season 3 or season?
I couldn't remember.
I think it might be season 4. I got to go back and watch it again, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, very different to how you'd handle it in Australia. Because when we have celebrations, it's more somber, dedicated to all who died in war, not just our people, like also the Japanese, the Germans, the Ottomans, everyone.
Oh, yeah. We in America, we don't care about anybody other than Americans.
It's very, very tasteless.
Oh, in our country?
Episode. No, in Australia, it's very.
Oh, well, I mean, considering that it's referencing Americana, I would argue that that's probably more accurate. Our military, the way our jingoistic love of the military industrial complex in this country
do you guys at least have a Japanese war memorial where you buried the bodies of the prisoners of war, or?
You mean people who died in the internment camps?
No, when there was a Japanese plane that gets shot down in Palau or Pearl Harbor or wherever, were the bodies taken to a cemetery, to the war cemeteries, and buried there with the American soldiers or not?
I don't know.
Because in Australia we have the Japanese incinerated the Japanese War Memorial,
Well, we
which
have
is
one
where
here.
we put the Japanese people who died. It's near the Australian one. The
We
Japanese
have
government will
one.
visit it every few years.
Okay, yeah, we have the Japan War Memorial. It's the Japanese American Memorial to Patriotism.
Very
Very
different.
very different.
And
During
not
World War
what-
II,
Yeah,
it honors
it's
Japanese
the
Americans who. Yeah,
No, completely different.
yeah.
This,
Oh yeah,
this
no.
memorial is for the Japanese people we shot because we feel bad.
Oh yeah, no. We don't. Yeah, we don't. No, we don't care. Like, I mean, and I'm not saying to be callous. I mean that, like, literally, it's like that is not how our patriotism works. Our patriotism is America good all the time, never bad, not for anything, not for even once. And if you even try to suggest it, you're a communist.
Our yeah, like obviously here patriotism is we're good, we're great, but like it's also like, hey, these other guys aren't bad, only the leaders are bad. Like in school we were taught that with Japan it was only the dictator who was bad, and the people were fighting under the guise of lies and under the guise of being forced to and not having choice. Like they were conscripted to fight, they were lied to get them to fight. Like this wasn't them fighting maliciously.
Yeah, I mean, like, we just don't do that kind of stuff here, you know? Like,
Yeah. And you can see, like, when we talk about Confederate statues here, like, we're like, why would you take that down? That's a memorial to the Confederate soldiers who are conscripted. Why would you do that? That's so mean.
well, in our culture, I mean, the thing is, it's like, it's, you know, I think the best way to describe it is to the people who want to take it down. It's not paying homage to the atrocities against you know, the main reason of the Civil War, slavery. I mean, the thing is, like, the problem with getting into those kind of arguments is like it's so difficult because people like to argue, like, a lot of it is either like they argue the particulars or they argue the semantics, and it ends up being like a very conversation, simply because if, like, you know, I have argued with people about it on kind of like both sides, and like especially when there was a shooting here a number of years ago where a guy went into a black church and he shot 9 people in South Carolina, and it's fucking terrible. But like the next day, an image came out of him holding like a tiny Confederate flag, right? Or holding a Confederate flag.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then all of a sudden, the reactionary side of things, it just started, like, Amazon and like even like iTunes was banning games with the Confederate flag, like Civil War historical based games were getting banned. A teacher got fired in California because he was he had a Confederate flag on one side of the room, and he had the North flag on the other side of the room, and he was teaching the Civil War, and he had it up just for props to like show the context a little bit. And there was this massive anti-Confederate flag movement that happened, like, it was swift. And my question then became, well, what was so bad about it yesterday to today? You know, it's like, this isn't changed. So is it just is it just the overreaction to it? And that's a lot of our society.
I think perhaps to solve it, you need to kind of do what we did, where we have the memorial to the Jewish and the memorial to the Germans.
I get that.
Memorials to both those who fought and those who suffered.
Yeah, we're just never gonna. We're never gonna. You know, like, we're how many people did
nuance?
How many people did we kill in Vietnam? You know what I mean? Like, we're never. The thing is, our country doesn't do that. But look, 75 YBA and John, you make a good point. The Confederates were traitors. Effectively, that is accurate.
I understand the leadership, but like the average man was forced to. It was conscripted army. It wasn't voluntary.
Yeah, but a lot of
it wasn't a volunteer army.
Well, again,
you fight for us, or we shoot you and kill your family.
There was also that whole notion of there's the particulars and then there's the semantics, right? So those debates, it just depends. Like, unless you, and I'm not accusing you of this, by the way. I'm saying that in a lot of instances, at least ones I've had, you don't find people like who are going to argue in good faith. Like this one friend, he was a friend. Now he's a fucking idiot. This a couple of years ago, he was like adamant that the Civil War was for states' rights, had nothing to do with slavery.
No.
You know, I mean,
It
adamant
100% is
about that,
slavery.
right? And then like I talked to him recently, and we hadn't talked in a while, and he just started coming at me like, because I'm a lefty, right? Politically, I'm left. And he's like, he fucking just lost it on me. He's all like, you're probably happy that my dog got cancer and died. Like that is, I mean, that is like how insane he was going in our conversation, was that he was accusing me of being happy that his dog died because I'm left leaning politically. Never mind, I had always been left leaning politically, and I was very open about this. You know, I just happen to dislike a lot of the policies of the left because I feel they're counterproductive. And I think a lot of the overreaction is counterproductive. You know?
This is the reason why I'm center left party politically. Like, I lean more center left in Australia rather than one of the far left parties, because we have like 10 party systems in Australia.
Yeah, we just have the two here.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
can vote whoever.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, that was there's like, you know, everyone bitches about the two-party system here in America, but you know, they're never going to fucking change it. However, I don't want this to turn into a political conversation because that can,
Yeah, fair enough.
It's, you know, movies and whatnot. No, it's all good. It's always, I like to talk and, you know, drift off and whatnot, but you know, people here are, you know, it's just, we don't need to go into this.
Something good.
All right. And then we'll end it on that, 'cause I got to get to bed.
Fair. But I got to say this, MGM sale and Spider-Man. We had an update on the Spider-Man situation, the new movie with apparently going to have Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield in it.
That's the rumor, yeah.
Rumor, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire both came out and said, no, we haven't had a call, we haven't talked to them, we're not in it.
Which means they're in it. So.
Could well mean it.
I mean, that's
could also be too, because one thing to consider is the contract they signed with Marvel, with Sony, is that if these movies become MCU, there was an entertainment lawyer that said this could entitle Disney to a percentage of royalties, because then the Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield movies would be considered MCU.
Oh, if they're playing those versions of those characters.
Yeah. This is the hard part. How do you distinguish the version of the character? Is it the same? Is it different? How will they be tied in? What kind of rights would this impact? Like,
yeah, that's a tough one.
Legal mess to bring them in.
Well, which means they would have already solved it.
Yeah, they've either already solved it behind the scenes or it's not happening. One of the two is true.
Yeah, but that's it's actually really a point with the rights of the characters. I didn't think about that at all. Now, but here's the thing though. Is it wouldn't be. I guess it would be MCU, because that is considered MCU. That is, that's tough, man. That's a very tough one. If they F that up, I'm gonna laugh my ass off.
I'd also say MGM, just before we go, there is an update. They raised their price from $6 billion to $10 billion, and all of a sudden, all the Hollywood studios are no longer interested at that price.
Yeah. I mean, like, who's you know,
Apple, Amazon, Warner, and I think Universal were talking about acquiring it. There was rumors Sony was interested, but once they raised it to that $10 billion, the interest just died.
Do they really have enough of I mean, well, no, they
own all United Artists movies.
Yeah.
They own all Orion Pictures, so RoboCop, Bill and Ted. They own Bond, Rocky from United Artists. They own post-1984 MGM movies, so that's Hot Tub Time Machine, Igor, Stargate. They own all that. They own some cartoons, like they own Pink Panther, they own Addams Family. So they have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that does make sense. That does make a lot of sense. I would, yeah, I'm just, man, that's crazy. Yeah.
People don't realize how much they own.
Oh, well, I can actually, holy shit. I can actually purchase an Xbox Series S right now. I don't know if I should put that on. Well, I was just looking to see it because I want to get the Xbox Series X, and
Don't get the S, because I don't know, Review Tech USA, you've done stuff with him in the past. He was saying don't get an S.
yeah, I should probably just wait.
Yeah.
I was just
Although
it's like
he did also say the chip shortage is critical, so
it's going to be a long wait. Yeah, I have a lot of games
Yeah.
to play though. Like I have a lot of games to play, so I just picked up was it Far Cry New Dawn? It was like on sale for like $12, and
that sounds good.
I like what's it called? Far Cry series. I'm a big Far Cry fan. I like Ubisoft games. I have for quite some time. So I'm like really interested to see what's going on with all that stuff.
I was just saying though, MGM, they own a lot of stuff. Like you buy them, you own Rocky, you own Hot Tub Time Machine, you own Stargate, you own Bill and Ted, you own RoboCop, you own half of these franchises.
Yeah, I mean, and people do want more RoboCop.
People want more RoboCop, people want more Bill and Ted, people want more Stargate, people want more James Bond, people want more Rocky, people want more of a lot of stuff. You know, Pink Panther, they just own Addams Family, they own like everything.
Oh yeah, I just watched the Addams Family animated movie. It wasn't bad.
Them.
It wasn't bad.
They own that. They own Stargate. They own Hot Tub Time Machine. I'm not sure how popular Hot Tub Time Machine is though, but I do know they own that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time.
They own the rights to that franchise.
Didn't they do a sequel?
Yeah, they did a sequel. It's a trilogy, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I didn't watch, I don't think I saw the sequel.
But yeah, basically, if I was like Warner and you want stuff for HBO Max, buy it and use those IPs.
That's a pretty fair, yeah. I mean, I think
they also own half of The Handmaid's Tale. That's a joint venture between them and Hulu, so they own half of it. They also own a cable channel called Epix, and they own the distribution rights to some DC shows like Pennyworth, I think, the one with Alfred. They own that.
Don't they also have the rights to Stargate?
Yeah, I said Stargate. They have Stargate.
Oh, sorry, I misheard you.
Yeah, they have Stargate. They have they got their own cable channel. They've got the rights to just a lot of stuff. They got Pennyworth shows, distribution rights, half of The Handmaid's Tale, half of James Bond, the Epix cable channel, just everything. They own a lot of stuff.
Well, $10 billion. I can understand that. They probably think that with the streaming game,
this is the thing. People, when they talk about MGM, just think, oh yeah, they own just the MGM movies. No, they acquired a lot of companies along the way.
That does not surprise me. Back in the 90s when everybody had money.
Although those idiots at Midnight's Edge think that they also own the casino company MGM, which they don't. Well, this is why they're saying their casino business is down. No, that's a completely separate company.
Yeah. Metro Golden Mayer is not the same as the MGM Grand Hotel.
MGM Resorts International.
Yeah.
Different companies.
Is it just me, or is Midnight's Edge getting stupider? I mean that. Like, they don't even try anymore.
They couldn't Google it. They couldn't Google who owns MGM Resorts International. It said the holding companies are separate.
Wow. I can honestly say that I have not watched a Midnight's Edge video in...
they said it a long time ago, too, like 6 months ago or whatever.
Okay. I haven't watched it in a long time. I just haven't cared.
Yeah. People don't understand that they own Orion and United Artists, and they own Epix, and they own Addams Family and all this stuff.
Well, I mean, and yeah, and they are getting. Aren't they
I'd pay 10
rebooting?
billion.
Like, isn't Netflix rebooting Adam Family on their series?
I think so. I think so.
Because like what I was reading was like they want. Well, the rumor is I have no idea how much as I believe, but from what I saw, the rumor was that they want Christina Ricci to come back and play the Morticia Adams role.
Yeah, I believe that. Like Adam's Family is what would Everweather property?
I'm sorry, what?
Like would the term be like Everweather property, like a property that lasts a long time?
I mean, evergreen is kind of the terminology we use here.
Evergreen, evergreen. That's it, evergreen. So yeah, I'm saying like they have a lot of evergreen stuff. Like pretty much everything they have is evergreen. They may not have quite as much as Fox, but the thing is, what they have is evergreen. Plus, it's 1/6 of what Fox would cost for like roughly the same amount of IP anyway.
Well, they'd have the same amount of IP, but like their value on the IP is different. I mean, the reason why
I understand that. I'm just saying, like, I'd say it is worth 1/6.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's worth the same, but I'd say it's worth 10 billion.
Yeah, yeah. Me personally, I say like Disney spent that money. Well, for one, Comcast, they drove that price up.
Drove it up, yeah.
And then, but the thing is, I said this and I stand by this: the X-Men and Fantastic Four. That was the biggest reason, I think. Now I know, and then also Simpsons. Simpsons were really big because there's a lot of money in the Simpsons. Was it the street? Like the rights alone. The syndication rights alone make a lot of money. It's like HBO Max. What is it? HBO Max spent. No, not HBO Max. Whatever production company or channel. Bought the syndication rights to The Big Bang Theory, spent $1 billion on those syndication rights.
CBS owns syndication rights to Big Bang Theory, but Warner Brothers owns streaming rights.
Okay. Oh, it must have been Warner Brothers who bought the streaming rights then. But no,
the thing is, Warner Brothers already owns The Big Bang Theory because they're the company that made it, and they own the intellectual property and trademarks. So what I think it was, yeah, we're paying like $6 billion, but we're paying it to ourselves minus a certain percentage in royalties to the creator and cast members.
Yeah.
So most of that money just went back to themselves minus a small percentage to pay the cast members. That's what people don't realize. Same with when they bought Friends.
I do quickly here want to say that Dark Beast is right. We need the Munsters. Tired of Addams Family. Yeah, well, they tried to reboot the Munsters. Didn't the Munsters back in 2012. The pilot wasn't bad, but they spent like $30 million, I think, on that pilot. So they spent a lot of money on that pilot.
Oh, shoot. Forgot. Did you see the set leaks for the new Game of Thrones?
I saw the photos that they came out today.
Yeah. There's been like every day there's new photos from that.
So I need to
Yeah.
Well, the thing is though, it's like, look, there's a lot of money in Game of Thrones for HBO. There's a lot of money in it.
It's their next Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, and the thing is, so they're gonna. The thing is, like, they realize that like that piracy really moves Game of Thrones. So by like having set leaks and whatever, showing people what's going on, it gives them time to get used to it, right? So like when it finally comes out next year, that it's going to be a lot more, people are going to be okay with it, because the biggest problem.
I hope they don't do what they did. Sorry.
Well, no, Dan and Dave aren't going to be, there's no pre-existing material.
Not that. I hope they don't do what they did with the Snyder Cut, which is it aired here, but only on cable.
Oh, I don't know how that's going to work.
Because here they're like, oh yeah, we'll give Australia the Snyder Cut, but because of weird cable rights rules, it's only going to air on cable.
Okay.
And I hope there's a streaming option, or else.
No, I know. I get it. Sailing the high seas. I understand.
There's a reason number one in piracy is Australia.
Oh, well, not only that, but you guys have like a really it was for a while. I'm not too sure how your rating system is, but the rating system there was atrocious for years.
No, here's the thing: people don't. I tried explaining this to you how it worked. Films always fine. Never been a problem with films. With video games, there was a problem because in the 90s they were creating a rating system, the first one in the world for video games. They said Mortal Kombat was the worst game, so we'll give it. So what would we give it? Well, because the graphics are kind of we'll just give it a 15 plus. And since this is the worst video game available, we don't need to create an 18 plus rating.
Okay.
However, after 10 years in 2005 was when it started to become a problem because graphics caught up and it could now compete with movies in gore and stuff. But they didn't add the 18 plus rating. And that's when games started to run into problems.
Oh, okay.
So now, after 7 years of of the problems, in 2012 they changed it and added an 18 plus rating, and it's been relatively fine ever since.
Oh, good to know. Or I
Actually,
think,
what's
I remember.
interesting is Matt Stone and Trey Parker, they did the MPAA documentary. They said one of their favorite rating systems to work with is Australia because it's very transparent. For all its flaws, it was very transparent.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people in Hollywood people don't realize this is actually a popular rating system among people in Hollywood. Even though it had this big flaw with video games, it was still a very popular rating system to work with.
I just feel like the rating systems at this point are going to be gone in the next couple of years. Once things start streaming is really, they have ratings.
No, it won't be gone. Netflix, at least in Australia, Netflix is part of the rating system board now.
Okay.
And they're not going to get rid of it. Like
I just think the rating systems are so fucking stupid.
Well, in Australia, it was only ever a problem for like 7 years. After that, it's been fine. Now the only way you can get banned in Australia is, one, is something involving children, and two, if you promote the use of drugs.
Okay. But I like drugs.
Well, it depends.
I haven't done any drugs in like forever.
It basically has to be like, you can have like, for example, Breaking Bad. That's fine because it's not having the character say, oh, meth is good for you, do meth. But if he did say that, there'd be a problem.
Okay, I see.
But if it's just, oh, they're a part of the plot, but they're not being actively promoted, it's fine.
Okay, I get it. Well, hey man, I'm sorry I gotta fade. It's just getting late. All right. Well, hey man, thank you very much. No, I always like having you on, James, because you bring interesting conversations. And it's always good. Lewis here says, don't do drugs, kids. So there we have it on that one. But yeah, all right, man. Well, hey, thank you very much for coming on, and we'll talk again soon, all right? Thank you very much, James, everyone for listening, everyone for calling. Thank you guys super much for this. This is kind of an impromptu thing. I just like doing these, you know what? Like, they're fun. And tomorrow night I'll be on again. It's going to be another pregame show for the Bad Batch. And so if you're excited for the Bad Batch, come back around I would say probably 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow night. It drops around midnight. And we'll talk about potential theories about what to expect. And then I'll probably just open the lineup right away, and we'll get people to call on in who want to and talk about it. I think that'd be the best thing going forward, is that people call on in. Maybe I'll open the phone line, not just call in through StreamYard, but actually have a phone number people can call in. And we'll do that. I think it'll be pretty good. All right, everybody, have yourself a great day wherever you might be. Go watch a movie. Go watch a show. Go do something. Just have fun. And I'll talk to you guys later.